The pitch by Busic. Swung on and missed.
It's time for Wenatchee AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Coverage of tonight's broadcast is sponsored by our platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, the Highlander Golf Course and Grill, the Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Shava, Together for Youth, Valley Tractor, and Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Now, let's go live to Paul Thomas Senior Field on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College for AppleSox baseball on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
So the AppleSox will advance. Now that's a heck of a welcome to the ballpark and a good evening.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE Channel. It is opening night 2025 for your Wenatchee AppleSox. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Brandon, it was 289 days ago that you and I got to sit here and watch a gem as the AppleSox edged Bellingham 1-0 for the West Coast League North Division title. What a night that was.
Oh, that was a great night. And you know, the nice thing is Quincy Vassar, the guy that was the star of the show, is back in uniform as a coach now.
Yeah, pitching coach for the AppleSox. Mitch Darlington back for his 4th season, and a win tonight would be his 100th as a coach, second behind only Ed Nags as far as the AppleSox are concerned.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, especially only in his 4th year, right?
Not bad at all.
Good winning record.
The AppleSox a season ago went 38-21, and of course came literally 1 out shy of winning the West Coast League title down in Portland. We're not going to remember that. We're going to remember what happened here and what a great crowd that was on I think it was a Wednesday night here in Wenatchee. They'd go to Portland on Friday and unfortunately lose by 1 run for the West Coast League Championship. But that's what Mitch Darlington said from the get-go is when he came here to take over, he wanted to return the AppleSox to what they were back when Nags ran the club.
Yeah, and, you know, speaking of Ed Nags, he's now a coach in the PCL up at Bellingham.
Yeah, the West Coast League. Yeah, he's
the West Coast
after
League,
being an assistant under Brooks Knight for a long time in Corvallis. He said that I had a chance to run into him during Apple Blossom Festival, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, you didn't hear? I took the job up in Bellingham." So he sounds really excited about that, and I'll tell you, that's going to make the Bells yet again another challenger for the North Division title.
That's very true. Yeah, it seems like everything that Ed does in baseball turns out well.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups here. We'll start it off for the Wenatchee AppleSox, announced by Mitch Darlington. Of course, this is opening night. Nobody's done anything yet to the West Coast League. Brady Bean will be the leadoff man in right field. Noah Fields will be the second baseman, batting second. Batting third, Jack McWilliams, center fielder. And batting cleanup will be the DH, Jack Barker. We'll get to the rest of the defense here in just a moment. Yakima Valley, meanwhile, new head coach is Garrett DeGallier. And Dylan Anderson will be the leadoff man, left-handed batter in the left box as the right fielder steps in. And our first pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back, and we're underway for the 2025 season for your Wenatchee AppleSox. It is Haythorne on the mound here, for the AppleSox. As he gets the start, he is pitching to Firestone behind the plate. That's your battery for the Sox here defensively. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Anderson is high and away for a ball, 1-1 to count.
You know, the thing I always am amazed about is where all these kids are coming from. You know, we've got Dylan Anderson at the plate from Grand Canyon University, and Haythorne is from University of Oklahoma. So distances traveled to get here, which is really neat.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, that's the reach that the coaches have to be able to get out to these other D1 coaches all the way down to community college level to get these guys more playing time in the summertime. That's what summer collegiate baseball is all about.
Yeah, I had a good conversation with Ed Naggs. He came by the baseball field and at Eastmont, and I was talking to him and asked him what he was up to, and he said every Friday night he goes down and throws BP to UCLA and USC.
That's too bad.
Yeah, so he has a little in with getting some players to the Bellingham Bells this year.
2-2 the count here, and the pitch on the way is a little low and inside. You might notice something a little different on your TV screen here as the dirt looks really pretty. Right around home plate and up the first and third base lines, and the grass looks really pretty as well. Well, that's because it's fake.
Yes.
Full count here. This pitch misses away for a ball. So Anderson with a great at bat to lead it off here for Yakima Valley, and that'll bring up Gage Reeser. Reeser is the shortstop, getting the start here for Gaulier for Yakima Valley. The Pippins 21-33 a season ago. Of course, that was the final year for the former skipper from here in Wenatchee. He was there for a number of years, took him to the playoffs a couple of times, was a couple of games short of winning a title for him down there, but then things just didn't work out the last couple of years. So he's out and DeGaulier's in, and the next pitch goes all the way to the backstop. So down to second base on a wild pitch goes Anderson, and the count 1-0 here to Reeser.
Yeah, and you said we have guys from community colleges and big-time colleges, and Gage Reeser's playing at Yakima Valley, where the state tournament is being played this weekend.
That's right.
For the 4A and 3A state tournaments being played there.
Yeah, that was a challenge to get some games in last weekend with the storms that moved through the Yakima Valley.
And there's some impressive kids playing in that tournament right now, too.
2-0 the count here to Reeser. By the way, speaking of prep sports, we're keeping an eye on a game tonight over in Puyallup. The Wenatchee Panthers are in the semifinals of the State 4A soccer tournament, so we'll keep you up to date on that throughout the night as well. As Wenatchee will place, they'll get a trophy. It'll be top four no matter what. So, of course, the Panthers hoping for a big win tonight against Hazen. That gets underway here in about 25 minutes at 7 o'clock at Spark Stadium. Pitch here is a check swing, but he did go around, according to our home plate umpire. By the way, is David Canales. And Dylan Self is their base umpire tonight. Two-man crew is what you normally see here for the West Coast League until we get to the postseason. They'll add an extra man or two.
Yep.
2-2 the count to Reeser here, with a man in scoring position for Yakima Valley and nobody out here. Top of the first, just underway here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Bouncing in this pitch up the third baseline at Trickles, and down to third on the wild pitch goes Anderson. So a couple of wild pitches has moved a runner into scoring position 90 feet away for Yakima Valley. So, you know, and that's one thing. And again, we are getting to know the players for each team as you are. And really, Mitch Darnington's like, your name again is, I mean, not that bad. But, I mean, we don't know how much necessarily these guys have pitched, how long ago they pitched. This pitch misses high. It was a cross, but high. And another walk given up here by Haythorne. So runners on the corners with nobody down brings up left fielder Finley Spicer.
Yeah, Finley's out of one of those schools that you and I have never heard of, St. Scholastica.
Okay.
Yeah. So, again, you know, we talked about that every year about schools that we've never heard of.
Okay, there we go. Add that one to the list. Runner from first goes. Pitch is taken for a strike. The throw down to second base is not in time by Firestone. Kind of skipped a couple of times heading out to the second baseman covering. And the count is 0-1. No, that wasn't a strike. It was a ball, according to the scoreboard out there.
1-0,
so 1-0 the count to Spicer here. Check swing here. Ball goes all the way to the backstop. But there's a short porch here behind home plate, and that is definitely a home field advantage for the AppleSox if you get used to that.
Yeah, and it's soft back there, too, but that thing bounced off pretty hard.
Well, I noticed yesterday when we were here doing some testing that they were replacing some of the padding behind home plate.
Yeah.
So you might have a little stiffer pad here, brand new pads.
Yep, could.
That could kick that ball a little bit quicker.
Yeah, Haythorne right here, it seems like he's trying to overthrow a little bit. Maybe got a little bit of nerves and a little bit of excitement going for him. Just missing on the corners and then spiking his off-speed pitches a little bit too much.
That one just barely missed as well. 3-0 the count here to Spicer. So Yakima Valley a pitch away from loading up the bases here with nobody out in the top of the first inning. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a well-hit ball deep left center field. No one's going to get to this one. It's going to bounce, hit the fence, and 2 runs are going to score easily on the double by Spicer, and Yakima Valley up 2-0.
Yeah, that ball was hit very well.
Number 6, Jacob Brooks.
Yeah, nobody's going to get to that. You can hear the wind in our microphones. It's not really blowing that hard here, but it's for May 30th, it's an odd direction. It's blowing from the east.
Yeah, out to left field, which we never get at this field.
No, definitely not. And that splits Marlboro and McWilliams out there in center and left for the AppleSox. So runner at second base, 2 runs in, and that brings up Jacob Brooks, who's the third baseman for the Pippins. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. That was a good, hard pitch right across the plate. And
looked like he found it on that one.
Yeah,
hopefully,
for Haythorne.
Continues that.
Yeah, just a little settle-in time. Settle into your new environment, settle into your new ballpark. The pitch on the way is a check swing, misses outside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Brooks. Our broadcast here tonight on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling in Wenatchee. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Give them a call today at 509-662-6842. They're on the web at alpineair.net. This pitch swung on and grounded to the second baseman, down on a knee, and a throw to first in time. And, hey, look at that. There's an out.
There you go. And that's a great job by Jacob Brooks there to get the ball hit to the right-hand side and advance the runner.
Move Spicer down to third base on the play. And with less than 2 outs, fly ball to the outfield scores another run for Yakima Valley.
Yeah. That's one thing that, in the major leagues, if you're watching the major leagues, you don't really see that. But I've been watching quite a bit of the Mariners, and Williamson has been doing a really good job of hitting the ball the other way. Yeah.
Last night included.
Yes.
He drove in Seattle's first run of the game with a little base hit the opposite way. Then came around and scored the game-tying run a batter later.
Yeah.
And that was such a heartbreaker for Seattle fans.
That 10th inning was not enjoyable.
They should have won it in the 8th, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been nice to close it out there, but then that 10th inning came along and
Yeah. 7-run 10th inning, swing and a miss on a pitch that was high and inside there for Bittner, Kyler Bittner,
out of Canada College.
And Canada College.
Yeah.
Is that in Kansas?
I don't believe so. Yeah, you had me take a double take there.
Nice curveball there. Swung on a miss. Second out recorded in the first strikeout of the ball game. So that's 2 outs here for Yakima Valley. And you know what? The way things started here, if the AppleSox can get out of this defensively with just giving up the 2 runs, that's a pretty good job by Haythorne there.
Yeah, that would be. Especially coming out, walking your first 2 guys.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Max Sinisak coming up. He's the catcher, right-handed hitter against the righty on the mound, Mr. Haythorne. And the pitch on the way. Right down the middle for a called strike and a count 0-1. Well, it seems Mr. Haythorne has kind of gathered himself up a little bit.
It does, yes. He's got that fastball working a little bit better. Maybe the nerve settled down a little bit after.
Well, you walk a couple of guys and get up a 2-run double, and if you don't settle down by then, you got issues.
Yes.
0-1 the count here to Tennessee, and this pitch, curveball, bending in for a strike according to our home plate umpire, and quickly he's ahead of the count, 0-2. And I know, Coach, you love that, getting ahead of the count.
First pitch strikes, right?
0-2 count to Max Senesac with a runner at third base. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch on the way is high with a fastball there. Tried to get him to chase. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. A nice job by Firestone to snap his glove up high and keep that from getting past him. Owen Firestone, catcher for the AppleSox here to start. And again, a lot of these guys, a lot of these names, a lot of these numbers you might not see in a couple of weeks. Swing and a miss here. The ball got away from Firestone. He'll throw it down to first base, so that'll do it. A K2-3 on the out, so Yakima Valley does get a couple of runs on a double by Spicer, and they leave a man. We'll head to the bottom of the first. It's Yakima Valley 2, and the Wenatchee AppleSox do up next. You're watching West Coast League Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you thirsty? We serve Pepsi, soft drink bottles.
At Abby's, toppings to the edge is a promise we've kept for 60 years and counting. We load our pizzas with fresh ingredients, quality meats, and real cheese, so every bite is legendary. If you can find a better pizza, buy it. Abby's, you just can't top it. Right now, every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week. This giant pizza serves up to 6 people and is at a very special price. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. We're family-owned Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, home of your Wenatchee AppleSox during the summer. It's Summer Collegiate Baseball back on the diamond and back on your television set along with Brandon Schmitten. Eric Granstrom with you. Brady Bean will lead it off, the right fielder for the AppleSox. He'll be followed by Noah Fields and Jack McWilliams. Let's get the rest of the lineup here quickly for Coach Mitch Darlington, now entering his 4th season as the skipper of the AppleSox. A DH will bat cleanup. That's Jack Barker. Quincy Marlboro is the batting 5th. He's the left fielder. Owen Firestone, mentioned him. He's the catcher, batting 6th. Batting 7th is Reed Graham, the first baseman. Batting 8th, third baseman Reese Vassar. If that name sounds familiar, it should. His older brother is now the pitching coach for the AppleSox and is the man from last season and many seasons prior to that. Meanwhile, batting 9th at shortstop, Peyton Smith. So that's your lineup for the AppleSox. We're talking about a lot of these guys under 10-day contracts, and we've seen that before where guys have not only made the roster but become a starter off of that 10-day contract because they prove that they can play.
Yeah, and become a huge part of the team. And it's not like they were a 10-day guy and then sat for the rest of the summer's 10-day guy and then became the guy.
Absolutely. Pitch on the way here to start the bottom of the first is a little outside on the pitch by Pangborn.
Yeah, Ty Pangborn out of Akron University, junior there.
And we were talking during the break, too, Brandon, that, some of these guys haven't played in a while because maybe they were redshirt this year, maybe they had an injury year, whatever the case may be at their university or college. Maybe didn't even play at all. Maybe a freshman that's behind 3 guys that are really good in front of them. Yeah. So their coach sent them here to get them some playing time this summer. This pitch swung on and dribbled to the right side, goes through the second baseman and into right center field.
That was an odd one. It almost looked like he lost that in the sun a little bit, didn't it?
It could be. Yeah, it could be. Bittner out there at second base. I'd give him a base hit because I just don't think he ever saw it.
Yeah, now, you obviously are a hitter, not a pitcher.
It's been a long time since I stepped into the plate. Noah Fields will bat now for the AppleSox with a runner aboard. Wenatchee down 2-0 here, bottom of the first inning, but looking to strike. This pitch swung on and hit in the air. Line drive to the first baseman, and it got a double play. How about that?
Nothing you can do on that one.
No, just a soft little line drive to the first baseman, and easy play for Rowan. as Bean was leading off the bag. He wasn't that far off the bag, but the ball is hit perfectly right to Rowan out there at first base.
Yeah, he gets his secondary. We always talk about 2 and a stiff on your secondary, so he got out there good like you should have, and there's no way he could make that back to the bag.
So quickly 2 outs for the AppleSox, and that'll bring up the center fielder Jack McWilliam. And the first pitch to him is a strike. No, ball. Excuse me.
Ball 1.
Okay, ball 1 outside. I thought it was outside. Wind up and delivery by the right-hander here, swung on, and a hit ball to right field, backing up on the run. Anderson fighting the sunshine out there, and that'll be an out for Wenatchee. So as it turns out, they're retired in order here in the first. To the second we go. Yakima Valley leading it 2-0. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
AppleSox baseball on NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge. 100% real cheese and freshly rolled dough. Order online at abbys.com. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you as we go to the top of the second inning. Ethan Buckley, Trenton Rowan, and Jaden St. Cyr due up here. The 7, 8, 9 batters for the Pippins who lead it 2-0. This is the 20th year starting tonight of West Coast League baseball. It's hard to believe it's been around that long. And 25th year for Wenatchee AppleSox baseball. Began in 2000, actually 1999. They voted to accept the proposal by Jim Corcoran to have summer collegiate baseball here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. They wanted to have the games at Recreation Park.
Yeah.
But the school district voted down the option of selling alcohol.
Yes.
And so as a result, they couldn't make that tie-in between the old Wenatchee Chiefs and the Wenatchee AppleSox. And so as a result, with a first pitch strike here to Ethan Buckley by Mr. Mitch Haythorne, the games were played here and have been ever since. This park has seen a lot of changes since 2000.
Well, it's seen a lot of changes since 289 days ago.
Yes, it has.
That was one of the nice things is Eastmont and Wenatchee got to come down here and play. So Eastmont played against Wenatchee on this field earlier this year. And then Chelan, I believe, played against Kashmir.
Chelan Kashmir, yeah.
Yeah. And I tell you, the field right now is playing immaculate. The dirt's great, which people think, oh, it's just dirt. No, it's a special kind of dirt out there. And the grass, you can't even tell the difference in elevation between the grass and the turf. They've done a really good job of keeping this field
and that
manicured.
was one of the really kind of knocks on this field, especially in the infield, especially on the left side of the infield. Swing and a miss here, and a strikeout by Haythorne. That's his second strikeout of the ball game. First out here. Is it the
last three? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
32, Trenton Rowan.
So, the left side of the infield was a disaster out there for third baseman. I mean, it became sort of a home field advantage if you were prepared and knew it was coming. But they cut that down, cut that out, and now it looks like it's a nice, smooth surface.
They came through and scraped the entire thing. There was not a blade of grass in the infield right after the season, and like I said, they've turned this into a very, very nice field right now.
College was, of course, a beneficiary of that, as they have been of many of the philanthropic nature of Jose Oglesby, the owner of the AppleSox. That scoreboard out in left center field is a result of Mr. Oglesby and then the field turf as well. So it means a difference for the college team, Wenatchee Valley Knights, and, of course, the AppleSox in the summertime.
Well, yeah, if you have a kid that that is determining whether he wants to go to here, Big Bend, and they look at the field and they're like, well, I'd rather play on a nice field. So
that, by the way, after the struggles on the first two batters that Mr. Haythorne walked, Mitch has struck out 4 in a row.
Yes, he has.
Going back to last inning. 2 down here in the second. That brings up Jaden St. Cyr.
Yeah, and Mitch is one of those guys that we were talking about that hadn't played this year. So this is his first true game. Now they're going to have inter squads and stuff, but
well, as we've seen with the Mariners, the pitchers that are coming back from injury, having a game at AAA Tacoma or a game in Everett, a game against your own players, you know, in a practice game for 45 pitches or whatever. Not the same.
No, it's not. We were talking about that the other night. I have a group of guys that we send text messages back and forth, and we're like, well, this is spring training for Logan Gilbert.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get his spring training. So he comes out and
oh, you mean George Kirby?
Oh, George Kirby, excuse me. Yes, thank you.
I mean, Logan's having to come back from injury now. As good as he started, now he's going to have to kind of restart again.
Yeah.
Well, beautiful pitch by Mitch Haythorne. Evens the count to St. Cyr at 2 balls and 2 strikes, trying to get his 5th straight strikeout here to set Yakima Valley down in order in this frame. And he does.
There you go.
How about that? The ball got away from the catcher, and he'll throw down to first base. And I think, by the way, we just go, oh, yeah, he's throwing down to first base. That's not an easy play.
No.
Because you got to negotiate the runner going down the base path. And then also, oh, by the way, this catcher and that first baseman have never played together until right now.
And there's a little bit of a sun, as you can see, too, as he's looking down there to try and receive that throw. It's not easy.
Well, that'll do it for Yakima Valley. We'll go to the bottom of the second in a 2-0 Yakima Valley lead. You're watching Wenatchee AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Now batting the designated hitter number 11.
To the bottom of the second we go. Jack Barker, Quincy Malbrough, and Owen Firestone do it for the AppleSox. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call 509-662-6842. If you have any problems. It got hot this week. Had to kick on the air conditioner. This pitch swung on a grounded on a hop to the shortstop. Tough play to his right, but a nice job out there by Anderson.
Great hustle down the line there by Jack. He almost beat that out.
6-3 on the put-out on Jack Barker,
batting
so he is out.
10, Quincy Malbrough.
And that brings up Marbrough, left fielder. So we had a Quincy on the team last year who's still a pitching coach from Brewster.
Yep.
Okay. Now we got a Quincy Malbrough from where?
That's a good question. Well, he goes to Folsom Lake College.
Folsom Lake
College.
So that's California, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to agree with that.
Prison Blues for Johnny Cash was a California prison.
Well, there you go.
Correctly. Pitch here misses high and inside. 2-0 the count to Mr. Malbrough. Pretty night at the ballpark. Just about perfect, really. Just a little hint of a breeze, and I hope this little hint of a breeze stays up because we know the bugs can get kind of bad here.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the little fresh air coming in from right field.
When I tell you, 88 degrees is what the temperature was when I drove into the game tonight.
In your rig? Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Everybody clap your hands.
Foul ball down the right field line for Marlboro. 2-1 to count now. As you said, it's Ty Pangborn?
Yes.
Okay. Pitch on the way from Pangborn, high and inside. 3-1 to count. AppleSox got the leading man aboard. Brady Bean back in the first on questionable base hit.
Yep.
But they have a base hit out on the scoreboard.
There you go.
So I'll go with that. Pitch here swung on and fouled off the screen on the right side. So the count now runs full to Marlboro.
He's really getting on our hitters here. First pitch to Barker. Barker was swinging, but he was well behind that pitch, and you see that there by Quincy. He was behind that too.
And then he throws a curveball and gets him
does.
out on a strikeout. First strikeout to the ball game for Pangborn.
Now batting the catcher, number 8, Owen Firestone.
And that brings up Firestone, the catcher. 2 down for the AppleSox here in the second. First of a 3-game weekend series, by the way, as we welcome baseball back to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium here for the summertime. Season is the schedule, heavily loaded home to start, and then the last half of the schedule, they're away a lot.
Yeah.
Speaking of being away, we're going to have a guest join us in an inning here to talk about something that's going on right here at the ballpark when the AppleSox are gone.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Fundraiser,
it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, it's going to be literally a funny time. We'll talk about that coming up. This pitch is a strike called, and a count to Firestone at 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
Okay. There it goes on the scoreboard. A little slow on the uptake out there. Pitch on the way. Swung on and fisted in the air, and that's going to be caught by the shortstop. So a soft line out by Firestone and a 3-up, 3-down situation for the AppleSox. We'll head to the third inning of play. It's Yakima Valley 2, Wenatchee nothing. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Now let's send down the field with Chelsea and Kylan.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Celebrate the class of 2025 with the NCWLIFE Channel. Tune in for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee ceremony Friday, June 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Coverage is sponsored by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Latimer Integrative Chiropractic and Rehab, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley College, and Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee's graduation Friday, June 6th on the NCWLIFE Channel. Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium as we head to the third inning of play. Back to the top of the order for Yakima Valley as they lead it 2-0. Dylan Anderson, Gage Reeser, and Finley Spicer due up here for Yakima Valley as Mitch Haythorne has really kind of settled into a groove. In fact, he struck out the last 5 men he has faced. We have a special guest joining us now. Christy Delosier is with Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club. And first of all, Christy, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you have a very fun event coming up that's a fundraiser. Tell us about Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club.
Yeah, Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club is a great organization here in town. They started in 2021. Their goal is to develop baseball players. They support the Wenatchee High School program where they provide an opportunity for parents to coordinate off-season training and rent facilities and cages, which helps develop our high school baseball program.
Okay. Now, I ran into Christy last year when we had 2 local teams that went to the World Series, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And now Dan and I were postulating about, is this Legion Ball anymore? Is it Babe Ruth? Is it what is it?
Yeah, so there is still Babe Ruth happening. This organization isn't affiliated with that one. There is still Legion happening, just not in our valley right now.
Okay. So the level that it's travel ball basically that went to the World Series last year. Those two teams, right?
Yeah, those were affiliated with Wenatchee Youth Baseball, and one was a youth 10U team, and then the other one was a Babe Ruth team, which was the inaugural season of Wenatchee Youth Baseball, leading Babe Ruth.
Okay.
So that was exciting.
Well, we've certainly seen the growth of baseball here in the Wenatchee Valley. Brandon Schmitten is a coach here locally as well, and now we've got various summer programs, and you talk about trying to keep the high schoolers engaged and active during the summertime, and so Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club came to be, right?
That's correct, yes. So we're excited to be able to have an opportunity to host Mark Paul, who's a touring comedian, stand-up comedian, and he's known for his travel ball comedy content on platforms like TikTok. From Tennessee.
And I got a chance after you gave me the heads up that he's coming to town. Coming to Wenatchee, by the way, and that's why that we are talking with. Oops, don't lose your paperwork.
Don't lose your notes. Don't lose your notes.
Here, use that to hold it down.
Thank you.
Pitch here swung on and a fly ball to left field for the out. So a base runner aboard. Anderson got on with the base hit to right field, and now a fly ball out to left. One out brings up Finley Spicer. So Christy, was it last week or 2 weeks ago now? I guess.
Yeah, time flies.
Anyway,
yes.
Whenever we talked on the phone, she says, hey, we got this guy coming in, Mark Paul. So I looked him up. Funny, especially, and the runner from first goes. The pitch swung on and missed, and down to second base with a stolen base. Not even a challenge on the throw by Firestone.
He had a great jump
Anderson.
on that
He
pitch
did.
there.
He stole that on the pitcher. If you have ever had a kid play really any type of ball, but especially if they've done any travel ball, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or if it's a girl, if it's fast pitch, if it's baseball, whatever the case may be, you'll laugh hysterically at all of this guy's stuff because obviously he has lived that life.
Yes, he has for quite some time, and he is very in tune with all of the dynamics that come around a baseball field or diamond.
Baseball moms,
yes,
baseball dads, these over-the-top coaches. I mean, it's hilarious.
It's incredible. I was talking to a family member who was like, I saw this guy on video. He had a towel wrapped around his head, and man, he had me stitches. I was like, I know him. Guess what? He's coming to town.
Body number 6.
So you got a hold of him directly just because you stumbled across his stuff and thought he was funny.
Yes.
And you reached out to him directly, and he responded.
He did. He promptly responded, and we ended up having a good half-hour, 45-minute phone call, which I was in stitches for most of. He is naturally gifted with his comedic talent.
Jacob Brooks stepping up now for Yakima Valley with a runner at second base. And 2 down now in the inning after a strikeout. And this pitch is a little bit low for a ball. Looked like a strike to me. Oh, now they checked to see if it was a swing or not.
And as we've talked about before with the umpire behind second base can't call that.
Yeah, right.
I would have called that a strike, though, as a
pitch. Yeah, absolutely. So the runner from second goes again. He gets a great jump. Throw down to his third base is behind the bag or to the left of the bag. So swiping another base is Dylan Anderson. So he moved up twice on wild pitches in his first time on the base pass, and now has moved up twice on stolen bases. And the count is 2-0 on Jacob Brooks. So the Pippins here in danger of putting another run across. We're talking with Christy Delosier with Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club about an event that's coming. So this comedian, this guy, this funny guy, this guy who's on the rise for his comedic life, his comedic career, is going to be here in Wenatchee.
He's coming to Wenatchee, yes. He's actually coming to Wenatchee just before he takes the Improv in California, which is big time.
That is amazing.
So he is definitely on the rise.
And he's coming here because you invited him?
Yes. So I sent out an email because I had seen his content and thought, gosh, this would be super fun. And I had this vision. And the vision included Paul Thomas Field, a comedian on the mound, talking about baseball.
This pitch is hit well. It's over to third and over to left field, I should say, as the runner from third comes home. And into second base is Jacob Brooks with an RBI double. It's now 3-0 Yakima Valley.
That ball was hit well again, wasn't it?
Number 12,
yes, it was. Easy walk home for Anderson from third base. And down to second goes Brooks, so he's on with a 2-out double and an RBI, and that'll bring up Kyler Bittner. So He accepted.
He did.
And he's coming here.
He is.
And this is a fundraiser.
It is.
So are you having to pay a bunch of money for him?
You know what?
I mean, you got to pay for his travel, don't you, or something?
We will be paying for the travel, a night stay here in the Valley as he stops here and does an evening show. And we'll have some more expenses with having him, yes. However, we're very excited for the opportunity of partnering with the AppleSox, who are going to host him here at Paul Thomas Field.
If you go to the AppleSox website, applesox.com, by the way, runner moved to third base on a stolen base, and the count now 2-0 on Bittner. And that is coming up. What's the date for that? It's in July?
Saturday, July 26th.
Okay. So the AppleSox, I think, are in Victoria or
That's right.
Canada at the time. So the field's open.
Yep.
So the actual comedy show is going to happen here on Paul Thomas.
That's right. Yeah, it's going to be a great summer evening. The show will start at 7 with gates opening at 6. Concessions and alcohol open for service. And it'll be an amazing experience.
Well, and how fun for us to be able to see something like this, but kind of how fun for Paul, too, or for Mark to be out here on the field, and your whole thing is Mark Paul takes the mound,
That's right. Yeah, this will be the first experience for him doing it in an open air, on the ball field, live comedic standing.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have comments about how he's used to being on the other side of the screen behind home plate.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. This pitch swung on and grounded to the second baseman, in on the ball, and a throw, and the throw kind of got away from him and goes all the way past the dugout. So another run's going to score here. It's now 4-0 Yakima Valley. And that's going to go as an error on the throw on the second baseman, Noah Fields.
Now batting number 46, Max.
Brandon, you see, did he just fumble that ball out of his glove?
He didn't. He came in to it, got in there slowly, and then, I think fumbled it as he was getting ready to throw. And then he was almost too far inside, so he had to throw it backwards, cross himself. So
I think I'd give him a base hit. No?
No.
You think it would have got him out there?
Yes. That was a play that, again, I played shortstop.
Okay.
But I also coached, and I know how pitchers really dislike it when people give hits on plays like that.
Okay. All right. You know, the baseball moms will have a hard time with you, Brennan. But it's not, I'm sure as a coach, you've never had to deal with baseball moms?
Never. Never. Not once.
Don't forget the dad's checking the game changer stats.
Oh, God, yeah. Runner from third, second goes. Now we got a rundown between third and second as the runner broke for third, and now they're going to tag him, and the umpire says he's out, and that'll be the final out. Christy, can you hang out?
I sure can.
Okay, Christy's going to stay out. We're going to talk about how Mark Paul will take the mound as the AppleSox will take the field in a offensive posture, now trailing at 4-0 to Yakima Valley. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Tee it up at the Three Lakes Golf Club.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas. And introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniat. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
Welcome back once again to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The AppleSox have a little work to do here as they trail Yakima Valley by a score of 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. And due up Reed Graham, Reese Vassar, and Peyton Smith visiting with Christy Delosier here. And I don't know if the speaker got loud all of a sudden or what, but exciting event that is a fundraiser coming to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium here on July 26th is comedian Mark Paul. who is coming to town specifically for a fundraiser for Wenatchee Valley Baseball. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Those tickets, can they get them now, Christy?
They're on sale now at the AppleSox.com website. We have the premium seating and general admission.
Number 6, Reed Graham.
I know that you told me that you're reaching out beyond the Wenatchee Valley, right, to try to get people to come to this, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, really.
This is a very unique opportunity, and it's exciting to be able to host it here. So, yeah, trying to get the word across to all the baseball community, softball community, just like you mentioned, many people will be able to relate to this.
Tickets are, $25 for general admission. That's up here in the stands.
Correct.
And then $30 if you want to sit down in the old Kingdome seats.
Yeah.
Or I guess these are Safeco Field seats now here at Paul Thomas. But that's a good deal to get in here and watch a lot of fun and laugh your hind end off, right?
Sure. It's a great opportunity for families and everyone to get together for a good night of laughter and supporting a local program, Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club.
So I want to ask how the Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club ties in with the high school.
You bet.
So how does that work? And is it just Wenatchee? Is it Eastmont? Is it both? How's that work?
Yeah, so Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club, for the Wenatchee High School program, is an avenue for parents to coordinate off-season training. So there is restrictions from the WIAA that don't allow coaches to facilitate trainings and instruction in the off-season. Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club allows parents to organize those and has a venue for funding to rent facilities like cages and indoor facilities. Unfortunately, with the increased fees from Wenatchee School District, the pot of money has definitely been depleted this year. So this is an important fundraiser event for us.
Well, and it's, we're finding that difficulty all around. I mean, look at what Moses Lake had to do this year for their high school teams all throughout. When they came to play Wenatchee, for example, the coaches, they all drove themselves. The kid, they didn't have a bus.
Yeah, they did that for every sport this year, and their coaches had to sign a contract because I know Lauren Sandhop, their AD down there, pretty well. And every coach that coached a sport this year got paid $1.
Yep.
And the reason they got paid $1 is for liability reasons. They're under contract, right?
Right.
But so essentially they donated all their time for every sport this year, which is pretty remarkable.
That is. Pitch swung on and hit off the end of the bat to the right side. Second baseman slides, it goes off his knee. And safe at first is Reese Vassar. Well, welcome to the Wenatchee AppleSox, Mr. Vassar. And I'm sure that older brother Quincy in the dugout probably filling his chest with pride.
That's right.
Peyton Smith.
Now,
the thing
is that a base hit, Coach?
I'm giving that an error.
You are?
Yes.
God, you're tough.
I know.
You're tough.
Gotta love your pitchers. The thing that Wenatchee has done a really good job of is getting indoor facilities. The one at Morris Park, they have 3 cages in there and a bullpen in there, and then you have the one at the high school that has been set up. I know Jeff Zender did a great job of getting some donations and getting that building built, and it has 2 beautiful cages in there, and it's really nice. They're way ahead the other side of the river. Eastmont, we don't have any indoor facilities that we can use, but being truthful, Wenatchee was really gracious to the Eastmont kids, letting us use Morris Park, those cages over there for a very small fee. But it's done a good job of getting kids able to use facilities in the off season.
Well, and you look at that to move over to first base, not in time on the pickoff move there. You look at, now we have state baseball coming up this weekend with the state championships that are being played all over the place. And you look at some of these other teams and the advantages they have they're almost able to play baseball year round.
Yeah.
Even though we're here in Washington where it's traditionally not the weather to be playing year round, but they're at least getting swings and pitching, right, Christy?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. We have wonderful complexes that are available for rental to us, and we just need to get in them so we can stay competitive with those other districts across the state.
So what is the future hope or dream for Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club? Is it to try to expand facilities like that and help with training purposes and things like that to help kids?
Yeah, right now the hyper focus is providing that development for the baseball program, and then long-term plans are still in the works.
Well, that's exciting. If you want to be in on the ground level of this and also benefit yourself by tickling your own funny bone, then come on out to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, July 26th. Did I get that date right?
That's correct, yeah.
Runner for first goes, run and hits, and a nice job by the batter. Smith lacing that ball into right field, moving over to third on the play is Vassar, and a 2-out base hit puts runners on the corners for the Wenatchee AppleSox.
I'll give that one a hit, Eric.
Now batting the right fielder, number 9, Brady Bean.
You sure that first baseman couldn't have had that?
Yeah.
So runners on the corners and back to the top of the order for the AppleSox for Brady Bean. Bean with what I gave him as a base hit in that first inning of play. I don't know if Brandon knows.
I got a base hit written down for him.
All right. But again, those tickets are on sale right now. Go to applesox.com. And by the way, I'm not going to assume that you know how to spell AppleSox. It's APPLE. This pitch swung on and hit past the shortstop into left field. The run's going to score. The AppleSox first run of 2025 comes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Great job right there by Brady Bean, hitting a little line drive through. It's always nice, like you said, to get that hump off your back and get yourself a run, and hopefully we can keep on piling them up here.
So AppleSox.com, that's the website for the Wenatchee AppleSox. They're selling the tickets, so they are hosting this event. Mark Paul takes the mound on Saturday, July 26th at 7 o'clock at night. Going to be a great time. As Christy mentioned, food, beverage available for purchase here. The gates will open at 6. Chance to socialize and get to know. And I have a feeling, just looking at this guy, that he's going to be plenty friendly to come up and talk to people and things afterwards.
He's going to work the crowd for sure. You will get an extra bonus showing up early.
Runners at first and second for Wenatchee with 2 down here in the third inning. This pitch swung on a grounded hard but foul over the top of Mitch Darlington's head in the coach's box on the third base side. 0-1 to count. What else should we know? If people maybe can't go to the concert or to the comedy show and they want to help out, they want to get their checkbook out because they're listening to you right now and thinking, I want to help out youth baseball in the Wenatchee Valley. I mean, look at the namesake for this field, Paul Thomas. I mean, this doesn't exist without people like that here in the Wenatchee Valley, and they want to write a check. Where do they send it? Who do they get a hold of?
Yeah, so I didn't have the mailing address here in my hand.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
But we do have an email contact, Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club @gmail.com, and we'll be able to facilitate any type of payment method, donation.
That's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Christy, does this go what ages?
So the Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club is serving ages 16 through the 15 through the 18.
Okay, so
high schoolers.
Yeah, the high school age. Yes,
yeah,
that's correct, yeah.
And Josh has done a really, really good job of building that up. I had a conversation with him, and you had talked about the costs that are being charged by Wenatchee School District to use the facility, Rec Park, and the hitting facility, and it's astronomical. That's something that we are constantly having to battle, is the costs of things, and it's unfortunate that those can't be minimized, and so doing this kind of stuff to help that cause out is incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, that is something that we're working on, providing opportunities to support the program for the whole community, where the comedian comes in and everyone has a great experience, and then it directly supports the programs here in the Valley.
Well, baseball is such a legacy sport. It's generational. And, it's not America's pastime for no reason at all. It's something that transpires and goes beyond just the pitching and the hitting and the throwing. It's about fathers and sons and all of these things that can be learned. I learned half my lessons as a kid through tales of leather and dust with catches with my dad, rather than my dad sit me down and saying, son, here's what you need to know. No. It came over those throws that happened in the backyard. And, we talk about the legacy, and Skylerman, talking with him when he took over the program at Wenatchee High School, we talked about this earlier with the Wenatchee AppleSox. One of those legacies that lives, it's ground ball to the shortstop, throw to second base for 1 out, and the runner from third, a little bit long on the lead there, but he's back in time. So they will get the force out at second, and that's the only out. So runners on the corners for the AppleSox with 2 down now in the inning.
Now
But as I'm saying,
number 14, Jack McWilliams.
guy who really did well with the Wenatchee High School program for so many years, Ed Naggs, then coached, of course, the Wenatchee AppleSox and won several championships in the Pacific International League and the West Coast League. And now Ed has gone on to coach, and now he'll be coaching at Bellingham this year in the West Coast League. But, that's a legacy that both Skylerman and Mitch Darlington talk about as far as playing Ed Naggs type of baseball and bringing it back to that. So that's what they're trying to do on all levels, it sounds like, here in the Wenatchee Valley.
Absolutely, and the program isn't just about learning the skills and learning the plays. It's about developing a culture and a team and a community, and that's really important.
That's fantastic. Well, Christy, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you
Appreciate
for having
it.
me.
And you're going to hear Christy on radio. You're going to see her on our Wake Up Wenatchee Valley show with Dan here not too long from now. And again, get your tickets for that. It's applesox.com. Saturday, July 26th, Mark Paul takes the mound. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and get you ready for more baseball next year on the NCWLIFE Channel.
And seniors headed to the scoreboard for trivia sponsors.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Best for Less sales event. Save up to $120 instantly on a set of 4 tires. Choose from a wide selection of our longest-lasting, best-performing tires, and every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty. With a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no-hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. It's our best deal on our best tires with the best service in the business. Get more from less.
Seat 21. Again, Section A, Row 1, Seat 21. Head over to guest services to collect your voucher.
Well, it seems that somebody has hit the volume knob on the speaker above our heads. Holy buckets.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, but it just got really loud. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Apple Valley Honda. Test drive a new Honda today at Apple Valley Honda in East Wenatchee. Committed to preserving the environment not only with fuel-efficient vehicles, but also with other eco-friendly actions and alternatives. That's Apple Valley Honda. Thanks again to Christy Delosier for joining us here on the broadcast tonight as, again, that comedy event coming to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium Saturday, July 26th at 7 o'clock. Tickets on sale now at applesox.com. Fundraiser for the Wenatchee Valley Baseball Club. And by the way, they are very close on getting their 501c3, so it's a nonprofit, so it's a donation you can make for thousands and thousands of dollars and write it off.
There you go. So we have a new pitcher on the mound, Joe Thornton from Spokane Falls Community College. He's a sophomore, lefty.
Pitch on the way, misses a little low and outside. I got lost in my shuffle of paperwork here.
Right.
Okay. So Joe Thornton, you tell me?
Joe Thornton, yep.
Second pitch is in there for a strike to Max Senesac. 1-1 the count. Senesac is 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out back in the first. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. I see we're doing the Sox on the clothesline here behind home plate for the fans, and they already have 5 up there, so fans getting a special treat here at the ballpark.
They hit by pitch. They threw out a couple pairs of socks earlier on the 5th strikeout too.
Did you get yourself a pair?
I didn't. No.
Oh. I thought you'd race out there and knock a kid down.
Tried, but that old guy with the cane scared me.
Yeah, somebody with a stick. You got to watch out. Ethan Buckley steps up with a 1 aboard here for Yakima Valley as they lead at 4-1. The AppleSox got a run in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but left a couple of guys on board as we are through 3 full here at the ballpark. Pitch here misses for a ball to Buckley. 1-0 the count. Buckley also a strikeout victim of our starter tonight, Mitch Haythorne. So Haythorne goes 3 innings.
Gave up 3 hits and 4 runs.
Swung and a fly ball to left field. And Marlboro there for the out. It's always kind of a challenge here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium.
Not only for Trenton Rowan.
Well, everybody's a visitor here, right? Unless you played CC ball and played at Wenatchee Valley against Wenatchee Valley here at Paul Thomas. This is new for everybody.
Exactly.
And the ball carry, the sight line, finding the ball, all those things are all new. So every fly ball is an adventure.
It is.
This pitch swung on a grounded to second. Double play chance to 2 for 1. The relay to first in time.
Like
pitcher's best friend, a 4-6-3 double play. And that'll do it here for Yakima Valley in the fourth. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Sox trail at 4-1 here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Down the Columbia, sponsored by Bob Files Boats and Motors.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Programs and so much more.
And back again here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Jack Barker, Quincy Marlboro, and Owen Firestone due up here in the fourth inning for your Wenatchee AppleSox. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Biosports Physical Therapy, Aqua Therapy, Sports Biomechanics, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, Orthotics, all you need to keep moving. Find them online at biosports.net, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're trying to get a world upstairs here.
Yeah, it seems like they figured out the volume control worked in the opposite way. We asked them to turn it down, they turned it up.
Yeah, right. So apologies for that. There's nothing we can do about it. Our location here is right below the speaker, and that is what is blaring over our broadcast. Jack Barker leads it off here for the Wenatchee AppleSox. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to short in the second. And the first pitch to him here swung on and fouled away, and the count 0-1 to Mr. Barker. As Ty Pangborn continues to throw on the mound. He's a big, tall right-hander, isn't he?
He is, and he's doing a really good job of keeping his pitch count down. I have him as throwing, that was his 36th pitch through three full, and then
three
what we
plus.
have here. Yeah.
Right.
So.
And he's one of these guys that I know you like, who doesn't look like he's got any effort at all going into his pitch, and then suddenly, bam, there it is. Fly ball straight away center field. Backing up on it is St. Cyr, and he'll make the catch for the out. So 1 out for the AppleSox here in the fourth. Brings up left fielder Quincy Marlboro. Our broadcast also brought to you by Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. Call Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate for all your real estate needs in Central Washington at 509-888-8887. Marlboro 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging back in the second. 4-1 Yakima Valley on top. Pitch here swung on and hit in the air to right center. Who's going to call for it? It will be the center fielder, St. Cyr. So a fly out to center. And you talk about being efficient with your pitches.
Yes.
And in turn, Wenatchee's being aggressive at the plate. So
they are.
That's going to keep your pitch count down.
And, you know, we've talked about this a lot. What happens when you have a guy that throws strikes is everybody on the field has to stay awake.
Right.
You know, if somebody's strikeout, walk, strikeout, walk, then the next thing you know, you have error.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing a good job of making guys put the ball in play. He's got 1 strikeout through 14 batters. So he's not your strikeout kind of guy, but he's a guy that makes everybody stay awake and want the ball.
Well, yeah, and keeps everybody in tune to what's going on.
Yeah.
He's gone 2-0 here on the catcher for the AppleSox, Owen Firestone. He's 0 for 1 with a soft line out to the shortstop in his first plate appearance back in the second. Swing and a miss here on a pitch that was low and away. 2-1 to count.
Which I would have liked to have seen him take that pitch. Obviously, it was a ball outside, but I would have liked to have seen him take that pitch just to get his pitch count up. Give our pitcher a little bit of time.
Right.
Take a little bit more time.
Hefty fastball there from Pangborn. Swing and a miss again by Firestone. So now the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, swung on and fouled at the plate. You talk about guys that are able to just fight off pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, Cal Raleigh is just one of the guys that, just will, eat up the pitch count for the opposing pitcher.
Yeah, and it's not like he doesn't swing with power either.
Right.
Usually that's a slap, the guy that just slaps balls around, but he's not slapping balls around anywhere.
Presented by
so a strikeout is a 1-2-3 frame for the AppleSox here. The 4th to the 5th we go. It's 4-1 Yakima Valley. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Go!
Celebrate the class of 2025 with the NCWLIFE Channel. Tune in for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee ceremony Friday, June 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Coverage is sponsored by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Community Glass, Feller Orthodontics, Focal Point Educational Services, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Iwa Sushi and Grill. Join us for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee's graduation Friday, June 6th on the NCWLIFE Channel.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Yeah. When you think of banking, think People's Bank.
To the 5th inning we go. It's number 9, 1, and 2 due up for Yakima Valley. That would be Jaden St. Cyr, Dylan Anderson, and Gage Reeser. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Global Car Care. Your vehicle is their #1 priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. Pick up and drop off available too. Stop by their website at globalcarcare.net. Jaden St. Cyr is 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the 2nd. One of, 5, 6 strikeouts to the ball game for Mitch Haythorne tonight. Yeah. First pitch missed for a ball. Second pitch swung on and hit in the air right to the shortstop, who didn't even have to flinch.
No. Kind of reminds me of the Sandlot.
Yeah, exactly. One out here, back to the top of the order here for Dylan Anderson. Anderson's had a good night tonight. He walked in the 1st, got around on a couple of wild pitches to 3rd, did not score. And then in the 3rd, had a base hit and stole 2 bases, eventually scored. This pitch swung on a hit on a hop to the to the second baseman, and there is Fields. Noah will throw him out, so 5-3 on the putout.
A little bit of extra time there, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
Especially with Anderson, how fast he runs.
And, you might have guys playing out of position right now. You might have a guy at second base who's normally on the left side of the infield, maybe a third or shortstop. So just that you turn your body because you got to throw to first base, come across your own body. So it's a little different.
Yep.
I'm giving excuses for things I know nothing about, but, First pitch here is in for a strike to Gage Reeser. Reeser's 0 for 1. He walked in the 1st and flew out to left in the 3rd. Pitch here is a little outside.
I look at the scoreboard, and it looks to me like they agree with you on the base hits and errors. Oh, man.
I don't favor anybody, Brandon. I just want to get it right. And I'm not going to be too hard on a guy.
Yeah. I guess my expectations are really high.
Foul ball down the left field line makes it a 1-2 count to Reeser. AppleSox will be here again tomorrow night against Yakima Valley at 6:35, and then they'll wrap up the series on Sunday at 5:35. 1-2 pitch misses high for ball 2, 2-2 the count to Reeser. You know, Joel Norman, we're going to miss Joel. I'll bet Joel is watching right now. I would be willing to bet to Joel. Hello, Joel. Good to see you, my friend, in a weird way. But Joel, even though he's not affiliated with the AppleSox anymore, he was providing some press releases and stuff all summer long in the offseason. He gave me a complete rundown, game notes for today.
Yeah, that was nice.
Talk about a guy. Swing and a miss here. The ball got away from the catcher, but Firestone will throw down to first base. And so K2-3 on the putout, and it's a 1-2-3 story for Yakima Valley here in the fifth. AppleSox have some work to do. They trail at 4-1. You're watching Sox baseball here on the West Coast League on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property. The Kubota commercial landscape lineup is built to do more. From the RTVX utility vehicle to the Z700 mower to the SVL track loader. When your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that doesn't let you down. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or save up to $4,000.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort. Totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. To the bottom of the fifth we go. AppleSox trailing at 4-1. You're watching AppleSox baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom. Reed Graham, Reese Vassar, and Peyton Smith due up for the AppleSox here in their part of the fifth.
Looking for exciting summer opportunities.
So tonight, we mentioned it on the outset, that if the AppleSox can come back and get the win tonight, it would be the 100th regular season win in the career of Mitch Darlington as the skipper here for the Wenatchee AppleSox.
Yeah, what a feat that is.
Second in victories behind Ed Nags, of course. Ed, 493 and 273. That's going to take a while to get to that mark.
He was here for a couple of years, wasn't he?
Yeah, a little time.
And as you mentioned, Ed, when I was a sophomore in high school, got the coaching job at Wenatchee High School, and then he started up the Packers organization. Okay. So he was the one that was responsible for bringing Legion ball to our area too. So it wasn't like he was just an AppleSox coach. He coached here for high school. Legion ball, was responsible again for bringing Legion here, and then I think he was the second coach.
He was. Yep.
Gary Llewellyn
was the first coach for the first season in 2000. And by the way, nice base hit. Attempt by Ty Pangborn with a backhanded stab at it. I think it did clip his glove. You're not going to give him an air for that, are you, Coach?
No, not even close.
So Graham aboard with a leadoff base hit. Exactly what the AppleSox need are some base runners, and that brings up Reese Vassar, who got aboard on a base hit with 2 strikes and 1 out in the third. Eventually came around to score Wenatchee's only run in the game. Yeah, the echoes of Ed Nags and his impact on baseball in the Valley is still being felt.
Yes,
and I think that was nice last year. Of course, Ed made the run, the opening day run from here, started at Wenatchee and ran to Corvallis as a fundraiser for mental health awareness. His pitch swung on and fouled back.
That's an incredibly long ways, isn't it?
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, that was amazing. And, just Ed, that's the kind of guy he is. He just wants to make it better for others.
Yeah.
And he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
And Ed is excited, by the way. He will be here in August. The Bellingham Bells, his new team, will be here the first part of August for a 3-game series, and we'll have the first game of that series right here on the NCWLIFE Channel. So I know already from talking with Ed, and the reason, I have a tight relationship with Ed because I was the radio broadcaster for the AppleSox from Ed's first season with the AppleSox for the first 5-6 seasons.
Okay.
And so we spent a lot of time on a bus, a lot of time in hotels, a lot of times in restaurants and things like that, just getting to know each other and hanging out and being around each other. And we had some incredible experiences on the road and trying to get across borders and things like that. And you know, it was funny. Ed met my wife Marion for the first time when he was in town during Apple Blossom. And he says, "Oh, do you know this story?" And I had to tell the story about how he was accosted at the border, trying to get it across the border at Blaine, by a drug dog who apparently smelled poppy seed muffin in his coat pocket or something like that. And how the border guards decided, we're going to make an example of him. Pitch swung on the ground to the shortstop, double play chance, flipped to second for one, relay to first, is in time.
That ball stayed down nicely for that shortstop and had a great feed.
That's what you're talking about with the field now.
Yeah.
Right?
Advantage Yakima on that one.
Yeah. 2 outs here in the 5th. Brings up Peyton Smith. Oh, yeah, they pulled him into a room and threatened to call the principal at the high school and tell him that he's a drug dealer and all this. It was just ridiculous.
Because he bought a Costco poppy seed muffin, right?
Yeah. And the drug dog, you know, smelled Ed's dog on Ed and just loved on him. And just, you know, normally they have a way that they mark for drugs. Well, the dog reared up on its hind legs and put his front paws on his shoulders and started licking his face. I don't think that's, you know, the typical indication that, ooh, hey, this guy's got drugs.
Yeah.
So it was ridiculous. So immediately, of course, he had to tell my wife that story, which I've told her several times. But
that's funny.
But that's okay. It was just affirmation that it actually did happen. 0-1 the count to Peyton Smith, who has a base hit to his credit tonight. Umpire says that's strike 2. 0-2 here to Peyton with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
I was watching the game last night, and that umpire was struggling for the home plate umpire.
I don't blame J.P. Crawford for getting thrown out. Pitch here swung on and fisted in the air to right field. Backing up is the second baseman, so we'll say that's a pop out to the second baseman for the final out here of the inning. We will head to the 6th, 4-1, Yakima Valley on top. You're watching AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can just
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Ram 1500 truck.
Here we come.
License plate number
AppleSox Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control. You can rest assured Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet safe material around your home or office. Call Harvest Valley Pest Control today for your free estimate at 509-423-2207. That's 509-423-2207. So Finley Spicer, Jacob Brooks, and Kyler Brittner are due up here for Yakima Valley in the 6th. They lead it by a score of 4-1. Joe Thornton, second man on the mound for the AppleSox, still out there, working his second inning of relief now. Third inning of relief, top of the 6th. First pitch is a little high and away for a ball. 1-0 the count. Good crowd on hand here tonight for the opener of AppleSox Baseball for the 2025 season.
Yeah,
good to see.
Oh, man, I was just going to say, it's great to see that.
I think everybody's hungry for baseball after last year's success. AppleSox tied with Edmonton for the best record in the North first half, and then took the best record in the second half, and eventually came and won the North Division Championship here at home. Swing and a miss here. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Finley Spicer. So Mitch Darlington, it's a big question I have for him as we get into a new season, his 4th now as the skipper of the ball club, is what did you learn from that championship game in Portland? Pitch here grounded to the second baseman. Easy play for Fields. Noah throws over, to Graham. And then he'll throw over to Thornton for the out.
Batting now number 6, Jacob Brooks.
You know, that is the important thing is, you know, what do you learn? Because you hope to, I don't put any blame on Mitch on that game, but you hope that if he feels like there was blame, what could he have done a little bit better, right?
Right.
When you're done learning, it's time to be done.
Right, on everything.
Exactly.
I learn something new every day.
Well,
sometimes it's about,
Your wife says differently.
No, I learn something new every day, even if it's something as simple as, cleaning the toilet.
There you go.
Pitch here misses away to Jacob Brooks. She's shaking her head as well. We had a whole discussion about the cabinets the other night.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and Malcolm, our studio producer, is also rolling his eyes right now. 1-1 to count to Brooks, who is 1 for 2 in the ball game, has a double, an RBI, scored a run, and a 4-1 Yakima Valley lead. Pitch here swung on and fisted right in the air to the first baseman. Yeah, right off the hands. And that's something, too, we need to mention, that for a lot of these guys, first time using a wood bat.
Yeah. In
number 12, Kyler Bittner.
The community college guys use wood bats, or they'll use a composite bat, but when you're playing a 4-year school, they use metal bats still. So.
And, of course, the College World Series coming upon us, and
yes.
you'll hear the tink.
Yes.
Pitch here swung and hit off the plate. Good job by Thornton to get after it. High throw and safe at first base. And the ball was dropped by Graham over there at first base on the high throw. Yeah, that's tough play for the pitcher.
46,
I mean, number one, okay,
Senesac.
this is my ball.
Yeah.
First you got to field it, then you got to make the throw, and there's a lot that goes into that. The pitcher is not one of those guys that's involved in every play.
Yeah.
Or a play very often.
And to be truthful with you, I'm going to give that error to the first baseman, because he didn't have to. I mean, he's 6'12" or something like that.
6'12". Yeah, he's shade over 6'12".
But that was a catchable ball, even though it was a little bit high, but it was still within the realm of
swing and a miss here.
A ball that should have been caught, if you ask me.
Max Senesax is up to the plate right now for Yakima Valley.
But I haven't been wrong on any other calls.
Well, they have 2 errors up on the board up there.
Yep.
So runner from first goes.
Aggressive on the bases.
Yeah, they sure are.
Ooh.
And safe with a stolen base
for them.
Bittner.
Is that a ball there?
I'm trying to see the scoreboard.
Yep.
Yes, it was. 1-1 to count to Senesac.
Yeah, they've been swiping bases and doing a really good job.
Boys, looking, this pitch misses outside for a ball. The AppleSox, in celebration of their 25th season, came out with the all Wenatchee AppleSox 2025 anniversary team. And I was looking at some of the names and thinking back on the years, and not a lot of guys from the early years of AppleSox baseball. Pitch here misses outside for a ball. 3-1 to count. But looking at some of the heroics by former AppleSox players, some of those are still playing. Joichi Oyama, I mean, there was a guy that he was a gamer. He'd play for me anytime and 3 times on Sunday. His pitch misses away for a ball, so a walk given up to Senesac. But Oyama, I don't know if anybody's ever going to top what he was able to do in stolen bases. He had 42 stolen bases in one summer.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
He hit .338. He was the all 25th anniversary team second baseman. He hit .338 in 224 at-bats, had 64 runs, 76 hits, 23 RBI. walked 42 times, and stole 42 bases.
Jeez.
So that's a guy you didn't want to walk, but he had a great eye. Swing and a miss here on an off-speed pitch by Ethan Buckley. And the count 0-1. Jason Anderson from the 2004 team, the catcher on the all-25 team. Jason Anderson, I think, still holds the record for the AppleSox as a guy who hit 3 home runs in one game.
Oh, wow.
Fastball here misses high for a ball. And that was up in Victoria against the Royals. I remember calling that game on KPQ back in the day. And Jim Corcoran, in fact, the owner of the team, was with me in the press box on the night that Jason Anderson hit the 3 home runs. I mean, that was a performance and a half.
Yeah. Oh, get him at first. Ooh.
Pitch got away from the catcher Firestone for a moment. There was a thought to run, but nobody does. The count goes to 2-1 on Buckley.
Yeah, 3 home runs in a series is good.
Well,
3
and
home runs
his
in a night.
4th time at the plate that night. AppleSox, of course, won the game going away. I think it was like 12-2 or something like that. His 4th at-bat hit a ball that the right fielder had to, leap in the air and catch against the fence. He was this close from 4 home runs in one game.
Jeez.
Mike Cameron.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, did he have 4? Was that right? 4?
In Detroit or in Chicago, one of the two. And really kind of this pitch, speaking of home runs, if it was in the air, it would have been a homer. Runner from around in third, and the throw is cut off and no throw home. Now the throw out to second base, not in time. That was a line drive to Marlboro out there in left field, and the run scores. It's now 5-1 Yakima Valley.
I like the aggressiveness of their coaching staff right here.
Trenton Rowan.
Sending him on that.
Well, you also got a guy who, stole a base prior to that and has shown he's got wheels.
Yeah.
So let him run.
Yes.
So an RBI for Buckley on the base hit to left. Senesac gets down to second on the play. And we're going to get visit to the mound by Quincy Vassar.
Now, he's got a little different haircut, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a different haircut, and this is going to be a different feel for him.
Yeah.
To be out there as the pitching coach and talk to a guy that's, fighting, battling.
Right. Yeah. So we had a game. We were playing against Davis in the playoff game, and we had a player on our team that first at-bat hit a home run, second at-bat hit a home run, third at-bat hit a home run, and it was a solo shot, a 2-run shot, and a 3-run home run. And he came up with the bases loaded in the next at-bat and flew out to center field. But man, some of the balls that was Tiger Garces that hit those, and some of the balls that he hit that night were, I don't know that I've seen a ball hit further than that. It was quite impressive.
First pitch to Trenton Rowan misses outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Yakima Valley extending the lead here to 5-1 over Wenatchee with 2 aboard and 2 outs in the inning. And the pitch, low. You were checking in on the Mariners.
Yeah,
who are hosting Minnesota tonight.
Cal Raleigh hit another home run, and
so he set a record for a catcher for hitting 20 home runs before the end of May, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what the?
Yeah. Yep. That's a record for a catcher.
And he's 4 out of his first 5 years. He has 20 home runs, and there's 2 catchers that have ever done that.
Mike Piazza, I think, is one.
Mike Piazza, and was it Campanelli?
Yeah. You got to go clear back to Roy Campanelli.
Yeah.
Well, how about that? 3-0 the count, and finally a strike called by our home plate umpire. By the way, is David Canales. Dylan Self out there on the base paths tonight to adjudicate our contest between Yakima Valley and the Wenatchee AppleSox. 3-1 the count to Rowan. Pitch swung on and popped up. Second baseman out and circling. And again, see what I said about fly balls here in a park you're not familiar with, but they do squeeze it for the final out. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. AppleSox trailing at 5-1. You're watching West Coast League Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
AJ and Parker, they're going to throw 3. You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
At Abby's, Toppings to the Edge is a promise we've kept for 60 years and counting. We load our pizzas with fresh ingredients, quality meats, and real cheese, so every bite is legendary. If you can find a better pizza, buy it. Abby's, you just can't top it. Right now, every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week. This giant pizza serves up to 6 people and is at a very special price. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. We're family-owned Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be top of the order due up for the AppleSox. Brady Bean, Noah Fields, and Jack McWilliams. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament and event today. Call the Pro Shop to schedule your time on their Full Swing S4 widescreen golf simulator, or just book a tee time. 509-884-4653. That's 509-884-4653. Also by Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're more than selling houses, they're building communities. Buying or selling, call the Kennedy Real Estate Group online at kennedygroup.com. That's K-E-N-A-D-Y group.com. Along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom. As we head to the 6th inning, the bottom of the 6th, is this a new pitcher? Or
it
same?
is, yeah.
Okay.
Evan Ellis from Chaffee College, a sophomore.
Okay.
Ty Pangborn had a great game, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Threw 58 pitches in, what did he go, 6 innings? 1, 2, 3.
5.
5 innings,
Top of the 6th now.
5, yeah. You know, my son threw this year.
Now batting the right fielder,
I like to say he threw pretty well for the Wildcats this year, and he had a amazing game down at Davis. He threw a complete game. Now we only played 5 innings because we 10 ran them, but he gave up 1 hit and threw 34 pitches in 5 innings.
Wow.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
that's
less than 7 pitches an inning.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Gave up one.
Well, that's what you talk about, throwing it over the plate.
Yeah.
Make him put it in play.
Yep.
First pitch here from Ellis is across for a strike to Brady Bean, who is 2 for 2 tonight with an RBI. Nice night. Nice opener for Brady. 0-1 the count to him here. And the pitch by Ellis is a curveball missing just outside, not by much.
No.
Good movement on that curveball.
Nothing like
I'm
going
to call it curveball or fastball.
Yep.
I'm not going to be calling it a bender or a
Sweeper.
slider or a sweeper or,
yeah.
You know, I don't have the TrackMan connection here.
Yes.
So I'm not going to pretend to even tell you what it is. It either bends or it's straight.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Do you see those pitches from Matt Brash last night?
Yes.
The movement on those?
Yes.
And then his finger placement on the ball, too.
Oh, it was just amazing. And I think if there's any doubt as to whether he's back from the injury and the surgery, there's no doubt. He has his stuff.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, he was looking pretty good last night.
3-1 to count now to Brady Bean. Leadoff man here in the 6th for the AppleSox. Pitch on the way is a strike called. Brady thought it was ball 4. Brady threw the bat
on that one.
Yeah, he's going to draw the ire of the man in blue or man in black.
Yeah. He used to be blue all the time.
Yeah, and we call them blue no matter what. No matter what they're wearing.
Even if they're
it's
wearing
always
yellow.
Blue. Yeah, right.
Black, blue, yellow.
3-2 the count. He's a bumblebee. Pitch on the way here, swung on and grounded to the third baseman, and into left field it goes for a base hit. So how about the night for Brady Bean? He's 3 for 3.
Yeah, welcome back.
Diving attempt out there by Brooks at third base, but that ball hit scorching off the bat of Brady Bean. I'm going to guess that was about 96 off the bat.
That's right. TrackMan says.
Yeah, launch angle was about 6.3.
Yeah, it was pretty low.
Noah Fields now up for the AppleSox with a man aboard, trailing at 5-1 here, bottom of the 6th inning. opening night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Pitch here misses away for a ball. 1-0 the count. Well, you're talking about you would hope the AppleSox would work the count a little bit more. And maybe that's some of the discussions that's happening in the dugout over on the third base side.
Yeah.
Because you do see guys taking a few more pitches here, especially with a new pitcher on the mound.
Right. Yeah, that is true. And watching him in warm-ups, he looked like he was struggling to find the strike zone a little bit. You know, again, going back to the jitters of coming out and throwing.
Sure. Called strike here evens the count to Fields at 1 ball and 1 strike. Noah 0 for 2 in the game this evening. And the pitch by Ellis. Swung on a hit to the third baseman. He'll throw to second for 1. The relay to first is not in time. Oh, they say he got him? Oh, my. Yeah. Okay.
That's fancy footwork by the second baseman on that one there.
6-4-3 double play. Yeah, he had Bean coming in at his feet
now
as he went to rotate and throw back to first. So quickly, 2 down for the AppleSox brings up center fielder Jack McWilliams. A few wispy clouds on the horizon here.
As well tonight.
Pitch low for a ball to McWilliams. He lined out to right in the first and then flew out to left in the third. By the way, the wind has completely died here at the ballpark. I
say the W word.
I said it. This pitch swung on a hit right back. How did that not hit the pitcher? Somehow it went between his arm and his thigh and squeaks out into center field. So a 2-out base hit for McWilliams.
Now batting the designated hitter, your beer batter, Jack Barker.
So Jack Barker comes up. He's 0 for 2, grounded to short and lined out to center. Steps in the left-handed batter's box against the right-hander on the mound, who will work from the stretch here with a runner over at first base. 2 down in the inning, and he'll quickly toss over to the bag at first. Again, West Coast League Baseball, they do have a pitch clock that's kept by the umpires, but they do not have the limitation on how many times they can throw over to first base.
You know, I like that because if you pick off a couple times, runners know you can't pick off again, or else
that if you go there, you better get him out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of the changes of the rules in Major League Baseball I'm not a giant fan of. I mean, I know the beer league rule in extra innings of putting a runner at second base. I know that's to speed up the game.
Yeah.
But it just bugs me. I'm traditionalist.
Yeah.
Have a hard time with that.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Well, I have seen, though, that they do not necessarily ding the relief pitcher for that runner at second base. At first, they were, if that run came home to score, it went against the ERA of the guy who's the reliever on the mound.
Did it really?
Yes. Yeah, and that made no sense to me because he's inheriting somebody on the base paths, not from somebody else, but because of the rule. So it should have been a team ERA that situation, not an individual, but now they've changed that. So runner from first goes, the pitch goes all the way to the backstop, and down standing at second base is McWilliams. So, Coach, let me ask you this. He was running before the pitch. Do you give him a stolen base even though it goes 100%. To the backstop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I do on that one.
Well, we're talking about the AppleSox club record of 42 stolen bases in a season. So Jack McWilliams is 1 stolen base closer to that record.
That's right. He's got 41 more to go.
2-1 the count. Pitch swung on a chop
could be
high off the plate. Here. Pitcher off the mound will field. There's no chance to get the speedy Barker down at first.
And with that hit, you got $1 off your beer thanks to Jack Barker's single.
And that, is, I think, a result of the new ballpark here behind and around home plate.
Yeah, and I don't know if that hit off the plate or if that hit off the turf, but it bounced extremely high there, didn't it?
I want to say it hit the plate.
Yeah.
And, that was, 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, it went up there.
The old situation with the old ballpark, which was true dirt around home plate, I don't think that happens.
No.
I think that deadens the ball and it might roll.
And we saw that earlier, too, on the ball that was hit. The catcher received it in fair territory and turned around and tagged our hitter out. and it looked like everybody thought it was going to be a foul ball, but where he caught that was in fair territory.
Right.
So
runners on the corners here for the AppleSox with 2 down in the inning, and Quincy Marlborough comes in. The pitch is swung on the first pitch to him. Hits it on a hop right to the second baseman. A little low on the throw is Bittner, but it will be in time. And the AppleSox threat is squished here in the 6th. To the 7th we go. It's still Yakima Valley leading at 5-1. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Right now. Regional story.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
Well, new pitcher on the mound for the Wenatchee AppleSox as we head to the 7th frame. Easton Brooks from Utah Tech.
Yes.
Okay, he'll replace Joe Thornton. Joe goes 3. Our starter Mitch Haythorne went 3. So, yeah, you kind of get these games early season where you kind of pitch by committee.
Yeah.
And you hope you get maybe 3 out of each guy. So
right, and also it's early, so you don't want to come out and have a guy throw 95 pitches. And, a lot of these guys have been throwing all year long, so a 95 pitch performance isn't going to be too troublesome, but you don't want to be the coach that comes out and throws him 95 and then he gets hurt and then you're done. So
our broadcast tonight on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Les Schwab. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of essential safety. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously. Stop by today. Also by Sangster Motors, family-owned and operated, home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV. And by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, serving the Wenatchee Valley since 1962. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom with you here on the NCWLIFE Channel. First of our 8 scheduled broadcasts of AppleSox baseball this summer here on the NCWLIFE Channel. We'll be back again at the ballpark on Tuesday as the AppleSox will start a new series. So be sure and join us for that. They'll be taking on the Kelowna Falcons Tuesday night here at the ballpark at 6:35. Our pregame starts at 6:30. And probably once again right in the middle of the anthem like it was tonight. First pitch here by Mr. Brooks is lowered away for a ball to Jaden St. Cyr. Jaden on the night, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a line out. 1-0 that count.
We talked earlier about baseball being played at YVC tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And Puyallup, team that's ranked number 2 in the country, they're down 6-0 in the bottom of 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Moses Lake almost got them
that was
in the first game.
2-1? Something like that.
Yep, 2-1. So, and going back to what Christy was saying, the indoor facilities and stuff, Moses Lake has a great indoor facility down there that Ryan Domet, a 10-year Major League vet, I think it was 10 years, he built what's called the
Now batting number
6
25,
in memory of
Dylan
his dad.
Anderson.
And it's a big indoor facility that has an infield in there and has a bunch of cages, and so they've got that going for them down there too.
Oh, darn.
So
how about that? So a runner aboard here to start off the 7th for Easton Brooks, and this pitch is a called strike. 0-1 to count to Dylan Anderson. He's been a busy man tonight, has scored a run, is 1 for 2 on the night, walked, and last up, grounded out to third.
Couple stolen bases.
First. Yeah, a couple of stolen bases, moved up a couple of bases on wild pitches.
check to see if we have a score on that soccer game yet.
Yeah, I was looking to see if I got, because Dan Kuntz said he was going to be texting me during the ball game tonight, who is here running one of our cameras, although I just saw him walking around, so he's not running a camera right now. I hope somebody's out there at center field. Looks like somebody.
Wenatchee's down 1-0 to Hazen in the second half.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that update. Got a text message here from a buddy of mine, Richie Herod, with a picture. Richie says, Mountain View steak, baseball, and my favorite announcer. Almost like having you for supper, he says. A pickoff move was that, and that sails out of play.
Okay, now here's an interesting thing. Baseball has some weird rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he threw that to first base, and it went out of play. Now, I can tell you that he did not step off the back and turn over and throw it out of play, because if he steps off the rubber, he is now considered an infielder, and so you get 2 bases. But if he's engaged and just spins and throws it out of play, then it's only 1 base.
I see.
So,
okay. I thought it was referencing the base runner on his attempt to go back to the bag.
No.
So he's not making a move to go to second when he threw it out of play. So he'd get second plus third. That's how my mind works anyway.
Okay. Yeah, and it all depends on what he does with his feet. So
when
if
he disengages the rubber, then
so
he becomes a fielder, basically.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So
he was
interesting baseball
spinning and
fact for you.
moving there, trying to get runner out at second base. And this pitch swung on a chop slowly to the right side. This is going to be a tough play. They'll flip it to the pitcher covering. Nice job by Brooks to get over there to cover the bag. Meanwhile, down to third on the play goes St. Cyr. It's a 3-1 put out on Dylan Anderson, so 1 out here in the inning. Brings up Gage Reeser. The AppleSox really can't afford to give up another run here. They got to keep this in check, and in fact, as I speak, the infield coming in to make that play at home.
Yeah, and it's nice to not have Dylan Anderson on the bases for us with his wheels, and then it puts us in a precarious situation too, right? Because you really can't bring everybody up because, with a runner at first base.
Right.
So
right.
It's a big out.
So everybody up around the infield on the edge of the grass. 1-0 the count to Reeser here with a runner at third base, 1 out. Pitch swung on and hit in the air but fouled down the right field line. So the count even to Reeser at 1 ball and 1 strike. Reeser 0 for the night so far with a walk, a fly out, and a strikeout. We've had a little bit of everything in this game here tonight.
Yeah.
One thing we haven't had is a home run, which might be necessary for the AppleSox to get back into this one.
We'll take that.
Pitch here misses low for a ball. 2-1 to count. You thought I was going to jinx it.
Jinx?
Right there,
yes, I did.
2-1 count to Reeser with Finley Spicer waiting on deck. Pitch.
Just keeps on missing away a little bit, doesn't he?
Outside, 3-1. Of course, trying to stay low. Quincy Firestone with the sign, and now everybody ready. Here comes the 3-1 pitch on the way. Nope, missed again, and the ball got away from the catcher, but nice job by Firestone to kind of block it. It tricks up the third baseline of foul territory, so the runner from third can't advance.
Keep the corners up, and middle goes back for the double play situation.
So runners on the corners, and this is also a time, well, Mitch Darlington, it looks like it might be a time for a new pitcher. Anytime Darlington makes a trip to the mound, it's usually about making a change, and we'll see if he is, in fact. Nope, I'm going to talk about it. And maybe this is just a defensive discussion on the mound right now, because you got a runner at first base. You know he's going to probably try to take second, and maybe they'll try that double steal where the runner from first breaks, and then the runner from third goes home if the ball goes on a throw down to second base. I mean, there's a lot to be talked about right now. And these guys have been around Mitch Darlington for all of maybe 2 days.
Right.
So these types of situations probably haven't come to the conversation level yet.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's a good timeout by Mitch to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah. It's a first and, like you said, first and third situation. So usually the coach will call in, hey, let's go straight to the pitcher, or some teams have the second baseman come in.
Now, if you're Yakima Valley, what you want Finley Spicer to do is just get the ball to the outfield.
Yeah. Not a hard ground
Runner
ball.
from first goes.
Man,
the pitch is
still a lot of bases.
Look like a strike called, and no throw down to second. So they'll give up the double play. Stolen base for Reeser, and 0-1 to count to Spicer. Sounds like I made a trip to the spice aisle down at Safeway.
Yeah.
You got Reeser and Spicer. Now Brooks with the count even to him. Excuse me, Spicer with the count even to him at 1-1.
So here's a situation where, as a shortstop, as far as he's playing up, it allows that runner at second base to get a huge lead. Sometimes I would almost have the shortstop deepen up just a little bit and know that he's got to attack a ball, but then it will keep the runner at second base a little bit more at bay.
Infield drawn in again, trying to keep the score right where it is at 5-1. 2-1 to count to Spicer. And the pitch by Brooks. Swung on and fouled away. Looks like Brooks, never seen him pitch before, but he kind of falls open as he's coming down with his throwing arm. So it looks like he's kind of disjointed as far as his delivery with the leg, and then where his arm is way out here open.
Yeah.
At least on that last pitch. 2-2 count here to Spicer. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Pitch is swung on a grounded foul up the first base side. But again, this is my first time ever seeing him pitch. Maybe this is how he pitches.
Yeah. So what you're saying is he's opening the front side a little bit early.
He steps towards the plate, but it's towards the left-handed batter's box, and then has to bring his arm all the way across his body. 2-2 count. Pitch. Swung on a miss, and that's a huge strikeout there.
That's huge, like you said.
For Brooks. 2 outs in the inning. And now it's Brooks
now batting
to Brooks.
number 6, Jacob Brooks.
Yeah, that's exactly what we needed there, huh? The strikeout.
So 2 outs in the inning, runners at second and third. Still a 5-1 contest, and now the challenge for Easton Brooks is to get Jacob Brooks out. Jacob Brooks is 1 for 3 of the ball game with an RBI double and a run scored. 2 big giant ducks on the pond right now for the Pippins. Pitch on the way is low. AppleSox baseball also brought to you by Tacos Chava in East Wenatchee. Let them cater your next event. Find them on Facebook by searching Tacos Chava East Wenatchee. That's TACOS CHAVA. And I don't know if you've eaten at Tacos Chava before, but they're fantastic. Pitch here is across the plate, the low though, and the count goes to 2-0.
They used to have one up in Aniat, didn't
Yes, they did.
Oh, man. That was good. We'd stop in there on the way up to the lake.
Oh, yeah. 2-0 the count to Jacob Brooks from Easton Brooks. Here, right down the middle for a strike.
Looked like he was taken all the way on that, didn't it?
Thank goodness not like Randy or Rosarina takes some pitches for the
Yeah.
Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
I appreciate the theatrics of it, but then again, it's a little too much at times.
Yeah, you know.
Nice block by Firestone.
There's a lot of people that don't know how they feel about him. I tell you, I went to a game and sat there and watched him.
That's right. You were telling me about that.
Yeah, and he threw out probably 25 balls at that game. And I just, I was like, this guy loves what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you like to see people love what they do.
Absolutely. 3-1 count. Pitch swung on a hit on the
Good
ground to the
play.
first baseman. Taking it to the bag himself will be Graham, and that'll do it. A nice job by Mr. Brooks to work himself out of a jam. 3 unassisted on the putout. 2 left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Take the 7th inning stretch.
It's time to stand
It's
up, stretch your legs,
5-1
and
Yakima
sing.
Valley over
Take
Wenatchee.
me
You're
out to
watching
the ball
AppleSox
games with
baseball on the
AppleSox Kids
NCWLIFE
Choir, brought to
Channel.
you by Link Transit. Link Transit is a
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No,
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Welcome back once again to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium as the AppleSox battle the Yakima Valley Pippins on opening night, trailing at 5-1 here. If you're just joining us, Yakima Valley got on the board first with 2 runs in the 3rd inning on a 2-run, well, I guess it was an RBI single by Jacob Brooks. And then an error caused another run to score as Yakima Valley put 2 on the board in the 3rd. Wenatchee would come back and score a run in the bottom of the 3rd inning on an RBI single by Brady Bean.
The catcher, Owen Firestone.
Yakima would add another spot. And claim a 5-1 lead with their latest run coming in the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 7th right now for the AppleSox, and Owen Firestone, who made some good blocks.
There you go.
And this pitch swung on the first pitch and grounded it through the hole and into left field for a base hit.
It's a good way to start off an inning right there.
The first baseman, Reed Graham.
So Graham steps up now. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Had a ball that hit off the plate. Catcher caught it. It was called a fair ball, and he just tagged him out.
Yeah, that's
a rare play in baseball right there. And he had a full swing on it, too. This curveball is in for a strike, according to our home plate umpire.
Questionable.
0-1 the count to Reed Graham. Graham with a base hit to center back in the 5th. So the AppleSox have had some hits tonight. Just haven't been able to couple them together and get more than just the 1 run so far. This pitch is low and inside for a ball. Evens the count to Reed at 1-1.
Yeah, Reed had about the shortest ball hit, and then one of the harder balls hit right up the middle.
You're right. A 1-1 pitch here is a curveball low and outside for ball 2. I mean, that was kind of the location of that strike that was called.
Yeah, right.
And believe me, I don't envy anybody trying to be an umpire.
No.
Especially at the major league level where they got the square on the screen and every fan thinks they know what's going on. And swing and a miss here and the count evens.
And they think it's super easy to call that.
Yeah, right.
When the ball's
really
coming
so
in
many
at
times,
100 miles an hour.
Yeah, you get maybe a second, 1.3 seconds to see that ball, and then it's a sliver of that to see whether it's across the plate or not.
Yeah.
2-2 the count. Pitch here swung on and missed. Strikeout. 1 down for the AppleSox in the 7th. This is still Ellis.
Now batting the 3rd baseman.
Yes, it is. Evan Ellis. Yep.
Ellis working his 2nd inning of relief after 5 innings thrown by the starter Ty Pangborn, who gave up just the 1 run on 6 hits. Reese Vassar now at the plate to toss over to the bag at first, not in time. Appreciate our crew coming out and helping us on our first broadcast of AppleSox baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Pitch on the way, curveball misses high for a ball. 1-0 the count to Reese Vassar, who is 1 for 2 tonight with a base hit. He scored Wenatchee's only run back in the 3rd. Also hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 5th.
And man, you couldn't call up better weather, could you?
Oh, I know. That's what I was telling Jose Oglesby. Pitch grounded down the 3rd baseline, and they're saying it's a foul ball?
Yeah, foul ball.
Okay. I thought that was a fair ball. All the fans here are going, what?
I know. Well, he's got a direct line.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
I will not go back to umpiring.
Yeah.
And, umpiring so much so, I mean, on any level, is you got to pick a side of the catcher's head to look over his head at the plate and see where the ball is.
Yeah.
I know there's the way you should do it, the way you're taught to do it. Fly ball here to center field. Easy play out there for St. Cyr. And a fly ball, second out for the AppleSox. 2 down in
now
the
batting the shortstop.
That brings up Peyton Smith.
Yeah, I was talking with Mitch Canham, who's the Oregon State head coach. I had the opportunity to coach him when he was a high school kid, and we've stayed in good communications. And he was a catcher in the minor leagues, and I was talking to him about how to set up as a catcher. And you see the catchers now. It used to be where a catcher would sit and he'd be square and he'd hold the target here. Now they open up so that it gives a more direct line for the umpire to see. And as they catch the ball from bottom up and bring it into the strike zone. And
Cal Raleigh is one of the best at that I've ever seen.
So good.
His ability to bring a ball in to the strike zone.
And still make it a whole bunch of strikes,
and still make it like it's part of the pitch that, I just had to go over here in the strike zone to be able to catch that ball.
Yeah, and that's something that has drastically changed over the course of time is the catcher position and how they even sit, right? It used to be where everybody would be on their 2 feet. Now they're kneeling down and looks like they're about ready to take a nap back there sometimes.
Peyton Smith at the plate here for the AppleSox with a count 3-1 to him. 2 down in the inning, a runner aboard here in the 7th. Pitch bounces in. Ball 4. Haven't been many walks tonight for the AppleSox.
No.
And so that puts 2 aboard. Back to the top of the order for Brady Bean.
Batting the right fielder, Brady Bean.
Bean, a 3-for-3 night for the AppleSox and an RBI. And, this is the guy you want up right now. If you got base runners and 2 down and you need a clutch hit, seems that Brady would be the man for the job.
Yeah.
Brady steps in from the right-handed batter's box. He looked down at Mitch Darlington. Mitch Darlington wasn't even looking at him. He was looking in the dugout. Pitch on the way here is cross for a low call strike in the count. 0-1 as the groan from the crowd here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium on David Canales' call from behind home plate.
Got to call him out, don't you?
Well, 0-1 to Bean. It's just been a while since I told you who it was. Pitch here swung on and snapped by the shortstop. Great play by the shortstop, Anderson, out there. Ranging to his left, flips the ball to second, and that'll do it for the AppleSox. No runs. They got a couple of runners aboard, and we'll head to the 8th inning. And it's still Wenatchee trailing it 5-1 to Yakima Valley. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Sports with 12 drive total casinos. Amazing sports betting.
AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you by Together for Youth, encouraging you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. Also by Valley Tractor, North Central Washington's trusted equipment and rental dealer for 75 years. Thanks to Valley Tractor for helping us bring you AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Appreciate you joining us through the din of the speaker above our heads as we have a new pitcher on the mound, and It was so loud I couldn't even hear who it is.
This is Alec Ammerman out of Grand Canyon University. Talked to you earlier about the state tournament. Alec pitched for Richland and won the state championship last year for them. He's got ties to the Wenatchee Valley. His mom was Flemons. Her brother Nate Flemons was a good baseball player, and then dad was Tom Ammerman. So he coached with me for 1 year or 2 years at Eastmont before they moved down to Richland. So
now batting number 12, Kyler Bittner.
Easton Brooks goes an inning for the AppleSox, does not surrender a run, did have a strikeout. A turn and a square to bunt here by Kyler Bittner. And he'll take the first pitch from Ammerman for a strike, 0-1 the count. Nate Fleming, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for the AppleSox
Yep.
back in the day. 2004, I want to say.
Yeah.
0-1 the count here. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a fly ball to left field, and able to corral that one is Marlboro out there, so a fly out to left. One out here in the 8th. That brings up Max
Batting now, number
Senesac.
46, Max Senesac.
Coming up on the NCWLIFE Channel after tonight, of course, more AppleSox baseball on Tuesday as they welcome the Kelowna Falcons here in town. And then, of course, it's commencement time for the class of 2025. We'll have Eastmont and Wenatchee's graduation ceremony a week from tonight, starting at 6 at the Town Toyota Center for Eastmont, and then 8 o'clock for Wenatchee. And again, kudos to Eastmont for keeping it always 2 hours.
Yes.
And that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
How many graduates do you have in the senior class this year?
Oh, it's big. I think there's like 450.
Brandon, by the way, is a math teacher over at Eastmont High School.
Yeah. My son's graduating.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know.
And you're going to be in the ceremony?
Yeah, I'll be. As teachers, we all walk, like teachers that want to spend their time there, we'll walk in with the students and sit in the rows with them and basically escort them down. And
now, when Dylan graduated, you were part of the presenters,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you got a little emotional there.
Oh, I would never, ever do that. Like I said before, it was hay fever. Yeah.
I got you.
Yes, it was a really fun time. I got to introduce the valedictorians, and she happened to be one of them. So,
Dylan, by the way, one of our Apple Blossom royalty, who is now a junior at Washington State?
No, she's at Boise State.
Oh, Boise State. That's right. That's right.
So, yeah, she's going to be a junior next year.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, she's got a marketing internship with the AppleSox right now. So,
come out to the ballpark. You'll see Dylan.
Yep.
You'll also see a young lady who is an intern for us at NCWLIFE Channel, Olivia Winters. She's toting around a camera here somewhere.
Yep. Oh, that's a strike. Thank you.
Oh, got it.
I was going to say.
2 outs in the 8th. And that brings up Ethan Buckley.
That's the first called strikeout of the night, isn't it?
Now batting
for both
number
sides
15,
of it.
Yeah.
Ethan Buckley.
AppleSox have not struck out very much today. That's what, 2, 3, 3 strikeouts, and all of them swinging. Yeah, you're right. That's the first backwards K of the night here. Ethan Buckley on the night is, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Strikeout, fly out. RBI single to left, and that was a shot. That was aggressive play by the coaching staff to send Kyler Bittner from second base to score on that play. Pitch here is a curveball in there for a strike.
But as we've seen, they're aggressive in all facets of the offensive
That's very reflective of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making it happen. And that also starts with the recruitment.
Right.
I mean, what kind of ball you want to play? And that's exactly what Mitch Darlington has done for the AppleSox in his now 4 years as the head coach of the ball club.
Yeah, do you want to play with power? Do you want to play the small game? Do you want to play the running game? Everybody obviously wants pitchers that will go, but do you want to do a win by committee, or do you want to have a guy that's going to go distance? Or so, like you said, it's all in the commitment.
0-2 pitch. Oh, man.
That looked
half
good.
the infield was taking a jogging step towards the dugout, thinking that was strike 3.
Yeah.
It was called ball 1. Oh, here comes a little breath of fresh air off our back. Oh, that feels lovely. 1-2 the count to Buckley here. Nobody aboard for Yakima Valley. And the pitch. This is outside and low. Evens the count at 2-2. We will also broadcast Westside High School's graduation ceremony. That is coming up on Tuesday, June 10th, also at the Town Toyota Center. So be sure and tune in for that, or at least tell the grandparents or relatives that we've got graduation right here on NCWLIFE Channel. And I want to thank the gang at the Town Toyota Center. They're doing all the hard lifting on that. They've got all the camera work and everything else, and all we're doing is coming in and plugging it in and putting it on the air. So we appreciate the Town Toyota Center for their efforts there.
Yeah, that makes it nice. Doesn't matter rain, wind, sleet, or snow. Yep. Eastmont and Westside are going to be able to have their graduation in 70 and sunny, right?
And that talks a lot about Westside of where they've come. I mean, they used to do it downtown at the convention center, and then the last few years they've done it up at the school, which is right adjacent to us, across from the street from us. Fly ball to center field here should be the final out of the inning. Calling for it, making the catch is McWilliams. And that'll do it. And now Westside High School has so many students and so many graduates, they've moved to the Town Toyota Center. We'll take a break, come back. It's 7.5 in the books. Wenatchee trailing at 5-1. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Visit Pybus Public Market today.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas, and introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and ENIAC. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
Celebrate the class of 2025 with the NCWLIFE Channel. Tune in for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee ceremony Friday, June 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Coverage is sponsored by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Latimer Integrative Chiropractic and Rehab, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley College, and Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee's graduation Friday, June 6th on the NCWLIFE Channel. Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Scheduled are Noah Fields, Jack McWilliams, and Jack Barker, but Brandon with his sharp eyeball here says looks like we might have some new hitters coming to the plate, so I'll have to depend on you, my friend, to help me out with who that might be.
Yeah, I saw Mitch go up and talk to the umpire, so that made me think that was the case, but looking in the on-deck circle and
now batting
coming
number
up,
25,
looks normal.
Fields.
Yeah,
so Noah Fields is leading it off. He's 0 for 3 on the night. Grounded out into a double play in his last plate appearance back in the 6th. Here we are in the 8th. AppleSox need base runners and need them badly, trailing it by 4 here in the 8th frame against Yakima Valley. Mr. Ellis still pitching on the mound for Yakima Valley, and the first pitch swung on and fouled. The count 0-1 on Noah Fields.
Yeah, he's got that big swooping curveball going for him. Or spinner. What are we calling it again?
Yeah.
What do you say? Curveball? Everything's a curveball?
If it doesn't go straight, it's a curveball.
Okay.
That was a fastball. And it's popped a mile high on the right side of the infield. First baseman still waiting for it to come down, and finally it does. So a pop out to first for Fields. 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Now
brings up
14,
center fielder Jack McWilliams. McWilliams 1 for 3 tonight with a base hit in his last plate appearance in the 6th. AppleSox have had runners on the base paths tonight. Let's see, 4 or 5 left stranded so far.
And
they've had 4 in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, we've had our opportunities to score.
Pitch here is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 to McWilliams. He's also lined out and flew out, besides his base hit up the middle. 0-1 count. Ellis pitching from the windup. Oh, look out. A little chin music there. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. was trying to remember, they didn't have the notes in the media guide for the AppleSox that just came out, thanks to Joel Norman on the Herculean effort there. But there was a game between Wenatchee and Yakima. Check down to the first base umpire on a check swing. He did not go, so 2-1 to count. I don't think it was the Pippins. I want to say it was the Paladin Knights back in the PIL days for the AppleSox. But there was an extra inning affair. Swing and a miss here evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to McWilliams. That Ed Nags pitched.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
In fact, he kind of felt that from his many years of throwing batting practice that he had done something to his arm that was not quite right. And then in that performance where Wenatchee lost in extra innings, as I want to say it was the Paladin Knights, knocked Ed around quite a bit.
Well, because all he did is throw amazing
right.
BP.
Yeah, right. He threw it over the plate for people to hit, right?
Yeah.
Strike 3 called, and gone looking is McWilliams. Well, we're talking about those backwards Ks.
Right. And then
here's
another
one for
right there.
Wenatchee. So 2 down in the 8th inning brings up Jack Barker. But as it turns out, Ed did need surgery after that on his shoulder.
Yeah, he threw some really good BP. As I mentioned before, he's throwing to USC and UCLA, and so it must be pretty good if they're asking you to come throw BP.
What was funny about that, too, is that in his first year with the AppleSox back in 2001, after Gary Llewellyn coached the first year for the AppleSox, and then Ed Nags came in, Ed had an open tryout for the community to be a batting practice pitcher.
Really?
Yes. And I tried out.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was kind of a radio stunt, being a play-by-play guy. And he didn't pick me.
No? Well, because he wanted your voice.
Yeah, well,
right.
I mean, on the road, I did nothing but just wait around for the game to start as the radio guy. So I thought, well, why not try?
Yeah.
Because, I could help out.
Did you hit the bowl?
I didn't hit the bowl.
Okay.
Base on balls here for Jack Barker. So a runner aboard for the AppleSox with 2 down brings up Quincy Marlborough.
Now batting number 10, Quincy Marlborough.
Marlborough is 0 for the night so far, so really looking to get something going here for the AppleSox with 2 down in the 8th. But they actually had us pitch to live hitters, which I'm not sure what kind of waiver they had the guys sign. But it was fun. We had it down at Rec Park. Pitch swung on a grounded to the shortstop. He'll flip it to the second baseman. And Anderson with another sweet play out there at short. And that'll do it for the AppleSox here in the 8th. To the 9th we go. 5-1 the score. You're watching AppleSox baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
And most welcoming gym around. Visit Works today.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort. Totally happy.
Turn to the experts. Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air. Call Alpine Air.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Best for Less sales event. Save up to $120 instantly on a set of 4 tires. Choose from a wide selection of our longest-lasting, best-performing tires, and every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty. With a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. It's our best deal on our best tires, with the best service in the business. Get more from less.
To the top of the 9th inning we go. It's a 5-1 Yakima Valley lead. AppleSox will, or actually the Pippins. There we go. Which team are you talking about, Eric? Trenton Rowan, Jaden St. Cyr, and Dylan Anderson due up here in the 9th for Yakima Valley. Second half score. This game's got to be about to the closing stages.
Yeah.
Hazen over Wenatchee 1-0 at that point. And that's got to be late in the contest, I imagine. And
unlike baseball, they have time limits in soccer,
they
right?
do. They do. And I'm also trying to get the scoreboard here for the West Coast League. I know we have games going on around the league tonight. First pitch here is in for a strike.
Number 32, Trenton Rowan.
Is this Amundsen still?
Yep.
Okay. Ammerman.
Yep.
0-1 to count to Trenton Rowan, who is 0 for the night so far. And the pitch by Ammerman is in and almost hit him. I don't know how it missed him.
Yeah.
Count even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. So let's see. What am I? Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong summer here. There we go. And here we go with our scoreboard across the league as the West Coast League celebrates the start of its 20th season here tonight. And we have bottom of the 7th inning, Bellingham at Nanaimo leading at 6-3. Kamloops all over Port Angeles tonight, and that one's in the bottom of the 9th inning. 8-0 North Paws on top. Strike here. Other games from the West Coast League tonight. Portland, the defending WCL champions, leading at Cowlitz tonight 6-0. That's in the top of the 8th inning. Top of the 9th, it is a 1-1 tie, Ridgefield at Bend. That one's coming right down to the wire. Also, bottom of the 7th, tie game between Victoria and Kelowna at 3-3. That is in Kelowna tonight. And another game at the top of the 7th inning, Walla Walla at Springfield, and it is the Sweets leading at 7-5. This pitch is a fly ball hit to shallow left center, and easy play out there for McWilliams. So it was a battle, but he got him out.
Yeah.
Now batting
That'll bring up
one,
Jaden St. Cyr. St. Cyr is 0 for 2 tonight. He walked in his last plate appearance in the 7th. AppleSox with their 3rd pitcher of record on the mound here tonight. Was it the 4th pitcher?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. We had Joe Thornton in there. This pitch up the 3rd baseline, it goes foul. And the count 0-1 on Jaden St. Cyr.
That's something you don't see a lot in the major leagues. If you watch Major League Baseball, is guys bunting for base hits. And I think it's something that does more than just get you a potential hit on that attempt. What it does now is that 3rd baseman's going to have to honor that, so he's going to come up a little bit. And then if you get a little fisted base hit to left field, you know, it's going to get over the 3rd baseman's head instead of not,
right.
You know, or a ground ball that could get by him. And
Absolutely. You saw Jorge Polanco last night, late in the game after he'd had, boy, he struggled in the month of May, that is for sure, after such a hot April.
Oh, man, one of the hottest ever.
Tried to bunt his way aboard last night. That didn't work. This pitch swung on a grounded over the mound. Over is the shortstop. Beautiful play over there by
we do have a first baseman.
Smith.
A new first baseman.
Okay.
Number 1, let me look up here on our program.
Now batting number 25, Dylan Anderson.
Number 1 would be Colby Holmdahl out of Edmonds Community College.
All right, so Colby at first place, defensive change for the AppleSox. And the first pitch here to the number 1 hitter in the lineup, Dylan Anderson, is missing for a ball. We're in the top of the 9th inning, 5-1 our score, with Yakima Valley leading Wenatchee. This pitch misses away for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Again, these two teams will be in action again tomorrow night here at Paul Thomas, 6:35 game time, and then again on Sunday at 5:35. The 1-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 2-0 pitch, strike 1. And we just got an update from Dan Coots. Thank you, Dan. Hazen and Wenatchee are now in overtime, tied at 1. This is the semifinals of the State 4A tournament. Swinging a miss here, evens the count at 2-2 on Dylan Anderson. 2 down here in the 9th inning. AppleSox, by the way, are scheduled to bring to the plate in their part of the 9th. Middle of the order, Owen Firestone, Reed Graham, and Reese Vassar. That's the lineup due up in the 9th, bottom of the 9th, for the AppleSox. Well, the count runs full now to Anderson at 3-2 with Gage Reeser hoping for a chance on deck here for Yakima Valley. It's a 4-run lead right now, and the AppleSox trying to keep it right there. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. On the way by Alex Ammerman, swung on a grounder to the right side. First baseman will let it go by. Tough play for the second baseman, and the throw past the pitcher trying to cover the bag will go back behind home plate, and that's where Owen Firestone will pick it up. That was kind of the tweener play for your first baseman.
Yes.
Where it was a little bit too far to his right, and then he went for it.
Gage Reeser.
Well, that's the new first baseman.
Yeah, he actually, I saw there was communication on that. We couldn't hear it, but I can guarantee you that there was communication on that because I saw the first baseman going for it, and then he paused a little bit, which is a smart decision with him being
So the second baseman called him off?
Called him off, yeah. And it was especially smart because the first baseman's left-handed. The first baseman's left-handed, so it would have been an impossible play unless he reverse pivoted and threw. So.
Right. And your pitcher's scrambling to get over there.
Yeah.
And while, it's foot race between the guy at the plate running towards first and the pitcher running towards first.
Yeah.
Usually the guy who's a little more athletic, we'll say, has the advantage, and that would be the batter.
Yeah.
0-1 here to Gage Reeser with 2 outs and 1 on here in the top of the 9th inning. Emmerman ready. And the pitch. Runner goes. Pitch swung on him, fouled away, and that was almost close to being catcher interference. Runner from first will have to retreat back to the bag at first base. Dylan Anderson running, kind of the run and hit there. I think he was just trying to steal second base.
Yeah, I think so.
Get his 3rd stolen base of the night. 0-2 the count to Reeser. Pitch on the way, swung on and lifted in the air and foul. Kids will be racing for that amongst the pine trees here outside the ball.
I heard people laughing over there. I was like, what? Somebody fall or something when they were going for the ball? No, the sprinklers came on.
Well,
all the kids were chasing after the ball.
Running for their lives. 0-2 the count on Gage Reeser. And a pickoff move at first. That was close.
He wanted to call him out.
That was close. Not quite. We have the NCWLIFE Evening News with Grant Olson coming up at 10 o'clock tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel. A swing and a miss, so a strikeout to end the frame here for Yakima Valley. So the score remains 5-1, down to the last chance for Wenatchee. We're back with the bottom of the 9th inning coming up next on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Well, here we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Wenatchee AppleSox, trailing at 5-1, and it looks like, is it Ellis going to try to finish it up? It is. So the Yakima Valley Pippins going to keep a fresh bullpen and a fresh pitching staff for the rest of this series. Again, Game 2 tomorrow night at 6:35. Game 3 on Sunday at 5:35. And then the Kelowna Falcons come to town next week. First game on Tuesday. We'll have that live here on the NCWLIFE Channel at 6:35 here on the NCWLIFE Channel. So, Mitch Darlington will depend on his catcher to get things started here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Or pinch hitter here. Tyson Schurtenlieb from Bellevue Community College.
All right. Tyson Schurtenlieb. The first pitch to him. is high over his head.
Good job dropping the bat on that one.
Count 0-1-0 to Tyson Schurtenlieb. Why is that last name familiar?
I'm not 100% sure. I've never heard it.
I've heard of a Wenatchee AppleSox with the name.
Oh, really?
Schurtenlieb. Yeah, I want to say a pitcher back in the early days of the ball club.
Huh.
I could be wrong. Lord knows I've been wrong before.
Only once.
Pitch here, right down the middle for a strike. Count goes to 2-1 on Mr. Schurtenlieb. Nice view from atop the first base dugout here from our camera crew tonight. Pitch here misses a little bit low, or was it a strike? I guess he called it a strike.
He did?
Holy cow.
Oh, man.
Well, the scoreboard says 2-2.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss.
No, that was a ball.
Oh, that was
Good.
a ball. Okay, so it was 3-1. Now it's 3-2. So full count for Schurtenlieb.
I was going to say, he had almost hit him.
Your new first baseman is on deck waiting to hit. Swing and a miss here. So gone swinging is Mr. Schurtenlieb for the first out of the bottom of the ninth.
Number 1, Colby Holmdahl.
So Kobe Holmdahl will come up here in the ninth with one out, nobody aboard. Wenatchee trailing at 5-1. He'll step in the left-handed batter's box and see his first at-bat as an AppleSox. Pitch to him, swung on and hit hard into right field for a base hit. Well, welcome to Wenatchee.
Now batting number 5, Reese Vassar.
You know, the pitcher's going to try to, wrap this thing up, so he's going to probably throw some strikes. So why not attack at the first pitch?
Right. Well, and he's in a perfect situation, too. This pitcher is with a 4-run lead.
Yeah.
Grand slam, you're still...
Yeah, just at worst, it's tied.
Yeah.
So one aboard for Wenatchee with one down. That brings up Reese Vassar. Reese with a base hit and scored Wenatchee's only run. Pitch to him is across for a strike.
I can't see down in their bullpen whether they've got somebody up, but I would assume that they do.
0-1 the count to Reeser. Yeah, I see bodies down in the bullpen throwing. Can't see who it is, but pitch on the way is bouncing in. Nice stop by the catcher, Sinasak.
You had mentioned in between innings off the air that Yakima has 4 hits is all. And we have 10.
the runs 5-1.
The run shouldn't be what they are. But
that's baseball.
The big thing is that 4 in the error column, right?
Yep, absolutely. This pitch bounces in outside for a ball. 2-1 the count. And Sinasak doing a good job behind the plate, even though it's not pertinent for him to necessarily keep the runner at first base and not allow him to get to second. But
it helps, though.
You're doing your job.
They've got a easy out there at second base with
check swing, and they're going to appeal, and the base umpire says, if you didn't have it behind home plate, then I don't have it out here. So 3-1 to count the Vassar. Need base runners. Do the AppleSox, trailing it by 4 to try to extend this or walk it off. Pitch here swung on and fouled into the screen behind home plate, so the count runs full at 3-2. Well, you talked about it earlier. They're making these guys pitch a little more.
Yeah. And pitch count's getting up a little bit for Evan here. I don't have the count totaled right now, but he's got to be up in the 60s or 70s right now.
Ellis's next pitch swung on and popped up to the right side, and in comes the right fielder Anderson, and he'll make the catch for the out. 2 down.
Now batting number
first
17,
was
Peyton Smith.
Holmdahl, and that'll bring up Peyton Smith. Smith looking for his second base hit. He got a base hit back in the third. Popped out and walked in his other plate appearances here tonight. AppleSox opening the 2025 campaign at home in front of a good crowd at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Come on back here again tomorrow and Sunday, 6:35 tomorrow, 5:35 on Sunday. Go to applesox.com for your tickets. Pitch on the way. Swung on and popped up and out of play on the first base side. Yeah, they count 0-1 on Peyton Smith. We are pretty heavy in June for our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel of AppleSox Baseball.
Yeah, which is great.
Love that. The 0-1 pitch misses. Ball one. I'd like to thank our crew for helping us make this happen tonight. Malcolm Whitehall back in the studios. Been a long week and a long day for Malcolm, so very much appreciative of his work. Pitch here swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. So the AppleSox down to their final strike here. Tucker Wagner on site, being our line producer this evening, doing a lot of troubleshooting here tonight. Our cameras, Dan Kuntz, Cagney Fox, Juan Sanchez, and Eli Ginter. Welcome, Eli. Brand new to the NCWLIFE crew. Thank you, Eli. And, of course, our production assistant here tonight, the lovely and talented Marion Granstrom. And that'll do it as a strike 3 called. The AppleSox will go away with a loss on opening night here to the Yakima Valley Pippins by a score of 5-1. We'll come back and wrap it up coming up next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Celebrate the class of 2025 with the NCWLIFE Channel. Tune in for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee's ceremony Friday, June 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Coverage is sponsored by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Community Glass, Feller Orthodontics, Focal Point Educational Services, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Iwa Sushi and Grill. Join us for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee's graduation Friday, June 6th on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property. The Kubota commercial landscape lineup is built to do more. From the RTVX utility vehicle to the Z700 mower to the SVL track loader. When your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that doesn't let you down. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or save up to $4,000.
Welcome back once again here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, where the Wenatchee AppleSox dropped the opener of the 2025 campaign to the Yakima Valley Pippins by a score of 5-1. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Yakima. 1 run, 10 hits, and 4 errors for the Wenatchee AppleSox tonight. And Brandon Schmitten, that 4 errors, pretty costly here tonight.
That was costly, yeah. Pitching by both teams was very, very good tonight. None of the pitchers that went out there tonight should be hanging their head about anything that they did. They all pitched really well. All 6 pitchers throughout the game, right? Yeah. So it was a good performance.
Yeah, like we say, for Wenatchee, I mean, you can't blame the pitching staff. They only gave up the 4 hits.
Right.
But, runs will count, and that was the case as Yakima Valley got a 2-run double from Finley Spicer in the first inning of play, and Wenatchee was trying to play catch-up from there on out.
Right.
Yakima Valley added 2 more runs in the 3rd inning, and Wenatchee got its only run in the ball game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. on an RBI single by Brady Bean, who, by the way, went 3 for 4 tonight with that RBI. He was the hitting star for Wenatchee, but they just couldn't put the hits together and couple them with base runners to get the runs across.
Yeah, and as we've talked about many a times, getting ahead in the count, and to start off the game, we went walk, and then a double. So that kind of put us behind the 8 ball, like you had said, and then we didn't come up with those clutch hits when we needed them, and they did. So
Mitch Haythorne will take the loss here tonight for Wenatchee. He walked the first couple of guys he faced. They came around to score, and that's always troublesome when you walk guys. But then he settled in after that. He ended up striking out a bunch of batters, 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, 5 straight.
Yeah, 5 straight at one point. So, some glimpses of things that, you hope for good things as you go on in this weekend series. And Wenatchee can't, be completely down in the dauber about what happened here tonight.
Yeah, and you look at it, and we talk about some of these guys haven't played in a game for over a year.
Right.
And he happens to be one of them because he didn't play. He had a DNP at Oklahoma this year, which means he didn't play. But obviously he's a very talented player and got his feet wet after those 3 hitters and shut him down the rest of the way for his stint that he threw.
We mentioned the AppleSox hitting star tonight, Brady Bean. He goes 3 for 4. A 1 for 4 performance for Jack McWilliams. 1 for 3 night for Jack Barker. Also 1 for 3 night for Owen Firestone. I thought he caught well behind the plate tonight.
Yeah, he
looked
did.
pretty good there. 1 for 2 night for Reed Graham, and 1 for 1 for Colby Holmdahl, who came off the bench for the Wenatchee AppleSox. Meanwhile, the night belonged to Dylan Anderson. I mean, the play that he made at shortstop tonight was fantastic.
Yes.
And then also goes 1 for 4. It scored a couple of runs tonight, and that was huge for Yakima Valley to get the win and get the early lead, and then they just hung on from there.
And you always want your leadoff guy to be a guy that's going to get on base a lot and be able to run, and Dylan Anderson was definitely that tonight.
Well,
had multiple stolen bases
tonight, moved up a couple of different times on wild pitches in that
scored
first time.
in his first 2 at-bats due to his legs.
Yeah, absolutely. So a huge plus there for the head coach, Garrett DeGallier. Congratulations. Gets a win in his debut as the manager for the Yakima Valley Pippins as they won it tonight 5-1. Let's check the scoreboard real quickly here. Bottom of the 8th inning in Nanaimo tonight. Bellingham on top of that one, 6-3. It's bottom of the 8th as well. Victoria at Kelowna leading at 5-3. Other scores we have tonight. Portland, top of the 9th inning, is shutting out Cowlitz 6-0. Ridgefield over Bend now 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 9th inning. 8-0 score Kamloops over Port Angeles. That's a final. And Walla Walla leading Springfield on the road tonight 7-5. That is in the bottom of the 8th. And one other score you had, Wenatchee soccer team, man, they went to overtime, but unfortunately it's Hazen that comes out on top.
Yep, 2-1. 2-1 in overtime.
How about that? So Wenatchee will play for 3rd or 4th tomorrow at 12:30 against the loser. I didn't see who the loser was between Chiawana and Woodinville earlier today. Yeah, I don't know if you got time to pull that up, but that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Again, huge thanks to everybody involved with our broadcast, and thank you for watching and for viewing us no matter where you are in the great Northwest or around the world. Wenatchee, by the way, will play Chiawana tomorrow at 12:30 for 3rd or 4th place. That's going to wrap it up for all of us here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to join us again for more AppleSox baseball on Tuesday here on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel. The pitch by Busic.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee AppleSox Baseball right here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Tonight's broadcast was sponsored by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, the Highlander Golf Course and Grill, the Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Shava, Together for Youth, Valley Tractor, and Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.
So the AppleSox will advance